Greetings, blessings, salutations. Once again, brothers and sisters, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and as my calendar says, I think it's Sunday. Sunday afternoon, I have dropped the link for the panel, the link to join in the chat, pinned to the top already for those who wish to share their love, their wisdom with me and with us. All are welcome. So today's topic, and I realize actually, let me check myself. One of the things I told myself I wanted to do a little better was to try and engage with those who do encourage. Although, is today a good day for that or not? For many who know the Talcottian adventure here on YouTube, it involves some of the other platforms, some of the other panel opportunities. And as I understand, there may have been like a line drawn in the sand. So if I call out those who are showing support, am I risking their reputation? Am I placing their namesake in danger? Holy cows, man, life is scary. Hey, optics are high, brother. Welcome for joining. Truth Not Lies. Oh, that one. You know what? I'm not real good at this. Metaphysician, the producer, Moose. Your wrench was removed, Moose. That's what happened. Talcott Express. God bless. I do love that. Truth Seeker 37. When I was looking at the chat before this started, I was truly enjoying enjoying a potential of a community is what I saw. God bless. Advice well received. Your suggestion has been considered already, so I'll do my best not to be mean today. Simple Jack. Golly geez, God bless. Welcome. Good to see you. I am available for contact very easily. I share my time pretty freely. And yes, for those who might have have questions they don't want to go deal with publicly, certainly please reach out and we can connect. Anyway, thank you to all those who are here, have been here. Holy cows, man. And you guys, the blessings, Chuck in Tennessee. Peace and blessings to you as well, brother. A good show. May God guide us all. May God guide us all through these times. That is a well received offering, brother. Thank you. Uh-oh. Is there a loose hair? I'll get her. I'll get her done. Okay, so today, discussing life. I went out last night because I'd mentioned in the stream yesterday, there's a community festival. They call it Pig Out in the Park. The Western culture gets together for the celebration of gluttony, of eating. It's fascinating. I fucking love people, man. But so I wandered out into the community and watched the community gather together, families, and there was like I think 4 different stages with bands playing, and it was a pretty cool night. Last night too, I got to share fellowship with a guy from here in town, and you know, this is what life is about, my brothers and sisters. Creating these memories of being a part of something. That's what it's all about. Becoming a part of something, being in the experience, with the experience, creating the experiences. So last night was more of my study of human behavior. And as a vegan, I think there was like one choice for me. Holy cows, man. All types of beasts being grilled and roasted and um golly geez, the things that people make and the things that people eat. I am one of those people. I used to be like that, man. But anyway, so this morning ventured out and attended a local church service, a very inspiring pastor, one of many I found locally. And the sermon was kind of on point about how much of today many people allow their feelings to control their lives. And feelings actually are a gift. They, as I've related it, there is a passage in the Bible. The feelings within us, the emotions that stir, those could be considered ancient wisdom because it's coming from that which is just instinctual and natural and coming from the past. And what I'm talking about is when we get triggered, when we get reactive, our emotions, they move us. So the sermon that Bryant talked today was about not letting those feelings control us, but rather learning to control the feelings. And what what I would have offered more in addition to what he gave, and I'm realizing none of you have heard what he said anyway. We can't control that which we don't know. You cannot control the unknown. You cannot control that which is you don't understand. So you got to apply that mindset to your emotions, to yourself as well. And the emotions, this is where many people will say emotions will lie. I kind of disagree. And I haven't explored this or tested this. This is just an idea I feel, but I think the feelings are true. Where the lies come in is in our explanations. See, and that's where this world has fallen into this insanity, enabling each other's feelings or denying the feelings, or people don't understand feelings, emotions. And I would generally say probably most men, especially, don't understand feelings and how to articulate that which is stirring within. Because men have been taught to be tough, deny that shit, push through it, which is all true. However, if you want to learn self-control, you want to become a greater man, a greater woman, you better understand that which is moving you. And that which is moving you, here's where we can get into the concept of God. There's a creational force, an expression of intelligent energy from which life, you and I, have become. So there's a God who's moving us all. I was considering this thought earlier. If there is a God of this intelligent design, which is eternal in nature, beyond limits, the best way to control conscious beasts and animals would be through what they are allowed to know. Because, you know, a man can starve to death if he doesn't know that the plants that are growing next to him are edible. You know, that's an absurd example, but but humans, when we don't know, we are quite ignorant, quite foolish, easily deceived, right? Humans in our natural state, you know, from the infant on, we come in with an naivete, right? With an absolute blank slate of not knowing. It's through the development of learning that we start believing that we know. And hey, I allowed my mind to wander, but we got our first guest. I should address as well. Whoops.
Hey, I'm plugging my phone in right now, but I come on behalf of producer Moose. He would like to talk to you, but he's blocked in StreamYard, he said. So, Mr. Producer Moose, I know you got his wrench. That's fine, but I was just going to let you know if you wanted to talk to Mr. Producer Moose. He said he wanted to talk, but he's blocked in StreamYard.
Yeah, which is bizarre. He has my number. I'm easily reached through Messenger. He knows that.
Well, you might just have something to say since you're live and panel. So I just was
Well,
letting you know. I'm going to go plug my phone in, but I will be back. And by the
hey,
way, thumbs up Mr. Talcott stream so it hits the algorithm back, guys. Much
respect.
love.
Thank you, Snafu. Um, okay. Uh, you know, I'm not ready for war, Moose. I'm always prepared for peace, prepared for resolve. Um, but here's the deal, Moose. You've been playing this character online, disrespecting me on this panel and obviously elsewhere. I've invited you and requested that we speak offline. So, holy cows, there's a whole bunch that are. How many of these are you, Moose? I had to block a bunch of them. Nubs can stay gone. The other clowns can stay gone. Moose, I believe Moose is unblocked. So, and I'm always prepared to move on, ready for greater things. Well, the producer Moose, I believe you are not blocked on StreamYard, so please feel free. For those who wish to join, click the link. I'd really like. Oh, and there was a gentleman who stopped by in the stream yesterday, and I had been intending to address that, follow up with that. Jay, God bless you. If you are catching this stream again, yesterday I didn't quite put the pieces together to understand, but I would love to know. You said that you said you heeded some of the words and things may have worked out better for you, and I'd like to really know more. Regardless, that's a selfish thought, but I always hope people do better, that things do work out in their favor, you know, in for people's lives to improve. And admittedly, if I can learn that I am a part of that, golly geez. that's that's what my heart yearns for. It's why I've done a lot of the things I've done over the years throughout my life, which bring this back into the topic that's helpful for others, hopefully, as I bet that's true for you too. That many of the things you do are probably, maybe they're ignorantly or it's hidden, but we generally do. I like to believe people generally do what they think is right. That people generally do like to help others. Um, but in this world of deception, there's so much lies between each other. There's a lot of distrust, and there's reasons for distrust, obviously. People are foolish. But just because people are foolish doesn't mean you have to be or I have to be. That's what I decided about myself a long time ago. Just because the majority of people believe that uh, the political system is good enough, just because a lot of people believe that, the current, the way the world is good enough, just because many people believe that, I decided, no, I don't have to agree. I mean, I encourage people to start thinking on how the world can improve, because brothers and sisters, if the world is going to improve, guess who's got to do it? Guess who gets to do it? Don't you think? Don't you think that this lifetime that we are sharing here on earth as civilized people, don't you think this is our opportunity to change the world? Because I really think that the deceptions that have been passed down from generation to generation, just think back. The king and queens nonsense, people born into rulership and authority, and then living lives of luxury while others just support it. I mean, and then supposedly, our ancestors here in America broke free of that nonsense, right? No more royalty, no more kings and queens. We're going to treat each other like equals, except the black ones and the other ones. Holy cows, man. And today we still have the oligarchies, these children born into wealth and power. And the wealth and the debts. Guys, this is where we can break free. Here's a point. Separate from life, God, and feelings. Well, actually, we'll tie this into the topic, feelings. Really, truly go within yourself at some point. I encourage you, go within yourself to determine your true feelings about money. What is it that you think of money? And then recognize, see how your thoughts apply to money and how money interacts in your life, in your relationship. Money has been given far too much power in this world. I just watched some snippet, people promoting Donald Trump regarding his position on some of the anticipated enforcements and bureaucracies. Anyway, what Trump was saying is that if those people want to enforce this, well, I'll just defund them. So the guy's talking as though he's the president. The way he runs authority is by the fucking budget, which is actually what he did when he was in office. And so, brothers and sisters, the insanity of humanity is undeniable. It is quite clear. And so, are we a part of the insanity? Are we a part of humanity? See, I've admitted my sins, my errors, my foolishness. I've shared many of my experiences publicly, hoping that others might learn from my mistakes. Honestly, because I know that when we help each other avoid mistakes or help each other overcome, challenges, holy cows, it creates a brand new chapter. The evolution of life, it just happens when each of us are able to overcome our obstacles, our unhealthy patterns, when each of us when each of us become willing to put down what is not helpful, not healthy, not true. When we put down what is true, what is not true, excuse me, when we put down what is not true, when we stop believing in the fairy tales of government, Federal Reserve, all of this crap that people have been taught. When we start choosing to understand how we feel, what is our relationship with ourself? Are we living in a life of conflicts? Are we living are we behaving differently than our words? Because, brothers and sisters, I assure you, holy cows, man. This is just someone profiling themselves as Jack's son wants to state, "You are a fraud, come correct or shut up, Jack." Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. People, hey,
What is
Moose, how
wrong
you?
with people, man? Like, what is wrong with them? I know you thought it was me, brother, but no. I mean, I play games and stuff, and I try to say stupid shit every once in a while to lighten the mood, but I wouldn't try to play your son. That's just wrong.
No. Yeah, no, I don't. I trust that's not you. This people, well, brother, people are fascinating.
Yeah, they are. But the other day you were talking about you said you wanted to kind of start a men's group, a private men's group kind of thing. And I think that's where you should go. I think you should take it to private because I think this public thing, right? Everybody can sit here and they can restream you and make a mockery out of you. They could change whatever words you say and they can put it in a clip to make you say something else. Um, so I think maybe that might be a way you take it. Maybe you do like a Sunday show and then the rest of them you do on a private network or something. I don't know.
I've looked at I've looked at a number of things. There could be truth in this comment. From proper instruction motivates people. Jack might have ruined his life. It's very possible. Um, Now this one from Angry Rooster, you're a joke, Jack. Hmm.
Well, I think the joke is the joke. I don't think you're the joke. I think there's a lot of funny shit about all of us, right? And so if we pick enough, then we can make something funny about everyone. Like my big ass forehead right now. You see, you can land a plane on that thing. Um, but going back to ruining Paul's life, I don't I don't know, Jack. I think you're kind of a staple on the show, and as sad as that is, it's to some people it might be sad to you. you're a staple on the show. And if you were able to differentiate yourself in a entertainment portion and then come back to your serious thing and keep the entertainment away from your serious portion, that might actually give you some credibility, where people are saying, "Oh, you're a joke." Well, no, it's just you want to have fun sometimes, but then you want to be serious other times. You go to work to work, right? And then you go to your friend's house to hang out and kind of lay loose, and you kind of say things that you normally wouldn't say at work or whatever, and you try to have a decent time, right? So I think that might be something, to make you feel better about the experience as well.
I'm sorry, Moose. I allowed my mind to drift to the chat for just a moment.
No,
Snafu,
it's
brother.
better that way.
Snafu, brother. Please allow people to reveal themselves. Um, you know, I appreciate trying to keep the respect in the chat, but I know where we are, and there's no reason to pick sides and engage. So let's allow people to be, unless of course it is offensive, just absolute, please.
I think he loves the power just like I do, Jack. We all love that wrench.
I was thinking about that. We do love power. It's in our nature. We love that feeling of control. But then here's the deal. This society teaches us that power is outside of us, that the way to exert, to show power is through controlling others. And all the power starts within. That is for sure.
Amen, brother. Praise God. And
Ooh,
I think that the times where you're having fun, like you could tell in your spirit when you're having fun and stuff. And I think if you could tap into that spirit of fun when you're with Paul and just take it as fun and don't take it as part of your serious portion, because over here, it's a whole different vibe. Over there, I'd be like interrupting everybody every 5 seconds and, just being an asshole. Over here, I'm kicking back. We're having a conversation. You're trying to enrich people's lives. In the process of enriching people's lives, people try to bring the other show and they try to meld it together and stuff. And that's where you just kind of gotta, Snafu's doing his thing down there to protect you. I think he's doing it, out of like he actually wants to see you have space to not, see that shit to throw you off your game. Is all I'm saying.
I agree. Some of it, though, could have just been having fun at Tribe's expense, too. which, I get it. I totally get it. But a I've been trying to find a way. I do, and I appreciate Paul. I have respect for some of the things about him, but dude, I it's been not fun for a lot of it, and I've you know laughed at myself and had fun because, well, what other choice is there? Get pissed?
Yeah, I mean, you could get mad. I mean, we've all gotten mad and stuff, but that doesn't get you anywhere. Um,
No. But playing
I mean,
along didn't get me anywhere either. He's absolutely ungrateful, totally disrespectful. And, it's like, what reason should I continue trying? I mean, I was willing to try and talk today.
because everybody needs an enemy, Jack.
I
Everybody,
don't,
not an enemy
I
like
don't.
not like it's like the yin and the yang, man. Like he's fired up, dude. He's got raw, he's got that right, and you're kind of chill. You're kind of laid back, man. You're kind of just chill. So if you take it for what the yin and the yang thing, it's it's a very explosive combination that when you bring you two together, some crazy shit happens. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, crazy shit happens. It's up to you to decide where you take it, though.
I gotta address this, Texas. Paul brought you these numbers, Jack Talcott. You're the unthankful, ungrateful one. That you know that's an absolute lie because everyone knows that Moose bought them, right? That's where my
I paid for advertising, okay? And the advertising just happened to do whatever they did. Jesus. I was trying to do a good thing, and the next thing
hey
you know is
Moose,
some Indian dude, you know.
dude, I this is my life. You try and do a good thing, and it's like, whoa, wasn't expecting that result, but
Yeah.
okay, tribe, you too, man. Holy cows.
You know,
I'm
Tribe has been
extremely
on one today, Jack. If you
I
saw,
know.
like, he was just fired up. He was yelling and screaming. And I mean, I was like, dude, I've never seen him act like such a bitch before while he's calling, Snafu a bitch. And then he tries to say, oh, it was just a bit. Like, he was, like, you could see the veins in his neck were popping out, dude.
He was triggered. You know,
He was triggered.
I don't know what is true or not anymore. We just had the full moon. I know the astrology is always saying there's supposed to be something happening. You know, I don't know what it is, but I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
people dealing with a lot of emotions online and offline. Paul seemed to be quite triggered by me as well today. So
Everybody's in their feelers lately, even me, Jack, even me. I came up here and I was like, oh man, I'm still blocked. All right. But I wasn't gonna go out and do any harm or nothing. I just said down there in the chat, I said, look, you still got me blocked. But what I offer you here today is just saying, dude, I like to see you do your thing, and I like to see you in different arenas. Yeah, you go to different places and you have different things to say, and when you get around different people, they give you the opportunity to be a different, not different part of yourself, but open up a different door or a different filing cabinet or whatever, and open up yourself. And I think that if you're done with Paul, then you should be done with Paul. And I think that should be something that you like decide, but you should stick with it, because I think that it's an emotional thing for him as well. Like, we're all connected, we're all tied together. So whether or not he's being an asshole or whatnot, like, maybe that's just him telling you, hey, Jack, like, we get value from each other, and it maybe he wants you around. I can't speak for him. I'm going to get yelled at for it anyways, you know.
here it is. Moose is one of my least trustworthy cult members.
I'm not in it. That's why, because you can't convince me that anybody knows more than what's true, and it's inside that tells me what's right and wrong. And sometimes I do what's wrong, and people they encourage me, right? And that's not cool, because I know it's wrong, and then I feel bad after.
Well, we don't. What do you feel bad about?
Because when you know what's right and wrong, if you make somebody feel bad, if you have any form of empathy in yourself, then you're gonna be able to feel that as well. You're gonna be able to say, hey, maybe Jack got off of his stream, that one. Remember that one day you got off your stream, and I think I called you up after, and you were pissed. You were like, you don't fucking know how I feel. And you know what I said? I said, damn, that's fucked up, you know and so I think about that. I think about the people. I think about the dynamics, because everybody says, oh, this is just online. It doesn't affect you. All this shit affects your psyche. It all goes into your subconscious. When people are calling each other loser failures all day, you kind of end up like it doesn't feel good. So I think that's where we're at. Is everybody's in a state of, all right, this doesn't feel good anymore. Where do we go from here? How do we make this better? How do we continue the dream? Right? I yield.
Well, you brought us to the topic too. The feelings do our feelings create the memories we're going to remember. The feelings create the experience. How we feel about one another, it's important. And how we help each other feel, dude, it is not healthy. It is not healthy to believe the world is filled with infidels and no one can be trusted. Holy shit, that would be just a horrible place to live if that was true. But
I don't think it's true at all. I think that
I
I've
don't
gone through
either.
life, and people are inherently for themselves, right? But a lot of us that have empathy, we also help each other. We also uh, teach each other things, and we're there for each other. And so you have that bond between brothers where, if I needed help moving, right? Well, nobody there's a big list of people who knew I was moving. One person said, "Hey, I'll be right there." He helped me move everything, right? Everything that was super heavy I couldn't do myself. I went to give him money. He wouldn't take the money from me. He said, "No, this is what we do because we help each other out."
Hey, amen, brother.
That's trust, right? That's trust.
And along those lines, karma is real. What you do to others will be done to you in good and harmful ways. There's a there is a pattern to this experience. Hey, Jay, I think this is you from yesterday, and I mentioned you briefly. Brother, thank you. Um, I want to know, I would love to know more if you're willing to share at some point on or offline. Um, because yesterday I didn't put the pieces together, but then I was kind of remembering maybe who you were and what we might have talked about. Regardless, my prayer, my hope is that things are working out, that they did turn, and that things are getting much better for you. Um, uh, Moose, you were talking. Could this brought? Yeah. Well, not a slave.
What's up?
If I was gonna, I'm gonna engage with the chat here just a moment. Could the broadcast be any more pointless or lukewarm? Um, if you put the pieces together, the things you ignored, the things you didn't like, and then the ones that you thought were funny, if you bring those pieces together, you'll have a better understanding of what we talked about today, not a slave. And some of the things we talked about are actually very factual, truthful, and relevant to discussing life, God, and our feelings. um, hey, Jay, it is entirely up to you. Part of this is my own Jack's curiosity, but the purpose of what I'm hoping to do here on this stream. And Chuck in Tennessee, well timed again. God bless and thank you. Jack, kind of funny for a loser failure channel. Yeah, we're growing. We are growing together. And this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that what is offered here, I hope that people do find value, maybe a little encouragement, some inspiration. Because I know if you receive value from me today, well, you'll go on in your day and you'll share some of your value. And then the next people are sharing more value and more value. And next thing you know, this world has changed. We've transformed it. Why? Simply because we started to care about each other.
That's right, Jack. It's like if one of us goes out and plants a tree, it affects all of us. 100 of us plant a tree, 1,000 of us, it keeps growing, provides food, provides sustenance, provides shade, all kinds of things. So like every little rock in the pond has a ripple.
Amen. And we are. It's easy in this massive world and the huge, society and structures that are, it's really easy to believe we're insignificant, that maybe we don't have much we can do. But I tell you what, every little bit, to bring this to an economic, not to do that, bring it to an economic, but I had this conversation somewhere recently, is about our world. We simply have a distribution problem. If you think about it, how much just a small group of people, how much they can produce. Think of farming, think of the industrial manufacturing, whatever. You bring a small group of people and they can produce an absolute abundance. Nature does that. We do that when we work together in natural states. And so we don't have a production problem. I don't think we even have a consumption problem, although look at the obesity and the fat scales in America. We can improve on what we consume and how we consume. But if we change the distribution system worldwide, dude, this world would be, we would be living lives in peace, right? Without worry of authority and surveillance and policing and warring. We could live in peace, sharing the abundance that we produce together. And that ripple, it can start today. That ripple, it can start today.
Is that J Hubs?
No, not J Hub. Jay, I'm muting you for a moment because you've got a YouTube tab still open. So if you can pause the YouTube or shut the tab, that way it'll get rid of the echo we heard.
Is that better?
Yes.
Is that better?
I think so.
All right. Cool.
Welcome, Jay. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
I am feeling blessed. Hey, can we talk about your experience? Are you comfortable with that, or you prefer just
sure, no problem.
talk in a general discussion? I was trying
no
to
problem.
remember.
Yeah.
Are you the gentleman that the son was anticipated had left, was anticipated to okay. May I know how that turned out?
Yeah, everything went great. Like now I was just outside with him helping him fix the car, and so everything went great, but I never, discussed any of the stuff with him. I just, he's my son, so of course I'm gonna, have open arms to him. It's not like he like stabbed me in the back or any crazy madness or nothing. Just it's my feelings, and that's on me to deal with, really. So I will like talk to him about the stuff in a little bit more detail. But as for now, it's just he's back, and that's what it is. So I'm just glad he's home.
Jay, I'm glad to hear that. And at some point, I encourage you to have the conversation. It may feel uncomfortable. And but I tell you what, when we share honestly and openly with each other, particularly those we care about, when we are vulnerable with our trust and share, I dealt with this, man, and
right.
When you have the two perspectives of people who care, man, that is where God is known. Okay.
Right. And like
You
if
got to,
I'm, trying to better him, I guess, that's gonna teach him,
what I've been hearing from science and know from,
by discussing it.
whoops, I'm sorry. We lost connection there a little bit. I spoke over. What were you saying?
I was just saying, yeah, it will help him to be a better man in the long run by, talking to him about it, in a positive way, no negative, no screaming and craziness like that.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is part of all of our individual development, right? Learning
Right.
how to have these conversations about our feelings, with our feelings, sharing them openly, honestly,
Right.
but to not understand your feelings, just to ignore them, to deny them, to pretend they didn't exist, to not understand those, it's not wise.
Right.
It
Yeah.
will drive us nuts.
Right. You just got to be accepting, to take the self criticism if, comes at me or whatever. It'd be like me saying about, well, like Moose could drive me crazy just listening to him talk, even though Moose doesn't know me or nothing, and him responding, just snapping off on me like right now or some shit. No, even if he did,
No,
I ain't
you're
engaging.
good.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
all
mean, I was
good,
just
man.
using it as an example. I like Moose. I hear you. I've heard you talk before and all that, so I ain't got no ill
I'm
will. I
used
was
to
just
offending
using.
people though, so I mean I would understand
Yeah,
if I've offended you, and
yeah.
I'm working on it.
Hey man, you're a braver man than me. You was up there singing. Shit, you can catch me doing that. I can't carry a note to save my life, but you were doing that on Z that one time. You know.
Yeah, you should have heard it. It was terrible. It was a candle in the wind.
Yes.
I think you heard it. Oh shit!
But at least you got up there and did it. It's
You know
more than I
what?
would be doing.
Hey, respect. That is something Moose is pretty good about, is you know, maybe pushing himself in the uncomfortable, for the
Yeah,
purpose of entertainment and
right.
I don't know.
I
But
mean, he seems to be a little hard on himself at times. Is what I notice. How it seems.
your audio isn't very clear, Jay, but we can
Yeah,
all
I know
be
it keeps
kind of
breaking
hard,
up.
we can all be kind of hard on ourselves and tough on each other. Um, but this is where honestly our faith, and our love, our feelings, this is where those things can be mastered. This is where here on earth this is where we get to learn about faith and love, perhaps. I don't know.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
ooh,
true.
I trust, honestly, from my experience, I trust that our purpose is to learn and understand love without conditions, unconditional love. That is what was demonstrated through the story of Jesus, through the Christ. And imagine if this world did, if we did start to care about each other, not just our opinion, not just our reputation, not just our family, not just our employer or our nation.
Right.
What if we all started to care about
Right.
what was true?
Yeah. I agree. They definitely would. You could say maybe flip the world back to to the positive instead of the negative that's here. Like if
I
I
think.
go
Oh,
ahead,
go
Moose.
ahead, man.
No, that's all good. Go ahead.
I think that I think people are like very comfortable in America. People are so comfortable that they could sit back on their couch and they could watch whatever the TV says, and they can get like it's kind of like politics have become almost like sports ball. I've seen people like break their TV over their team losing. That's how it
Right,
is with
right.
like these politics now, and it's how it is with like everything. Like, oh my God, we got this LGBT blah 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 blah, going on in the school, and we got these fires going on here. It's like chaos is going on all around, and you can just sit at home and not really have to deal with the chaos because it's not really there, even though it's still going
Yeah.
on.
Right, right until it creeps up on you, and it's right in front of your face, and it's a little too late by then. I understand. Yeah. I mean, I used to live in Sicily for a while, and when I was younger, and totally different. The whole it's not hectic or none of that madness was really going on there at the time. So I seen like both sides of the world in a sense. Got and I've lived in many states. When I was younger, I was in a bunch of trouble and running from the cops and all kinds of crazy shit like that. And I experienced every aspect of from the ghetto to the trailer park to somewhat of a half decent life. So I'm pretty much I can get along with anybody most likely. I don't give a shit if they're gay or not or whatever. I mean, it ain't making the person any less to me or none of that. Because I know it's a bigger picture than just me. I know that like we're spokes and like in the wheel, and if one of them's bad and they start to all go until it collapses. But if we all were, maybe if we actually took into consideration that person that you're engaging with, his feelings above yours. Not saying that makes you anybody weaker or softer, but as long as you can understand that, definitely the world would be a lot better.
That is
So
exactly it. Hey Jay, let me jump in here, please.
sure.
Because tied to what you're saying, getting this criticism from Not a Slave, apparently found objection to the word we, objection to the word people, and then suggests, and I believe most of this was prior to you starting, so this is directed at what I was saying. So keep it in the eye, talk about you and what you're doing, and not you aren't in a position to speak on others. Um,
Yeah.
Not a slave, you're revealing your ignorance, your arrogance, your obvious confusion to believe that there is not a we. I've explained the we many, many times. There is God within me, and there is me. There's God within you, and then there is you. And there is a we of you and me and all human beings of flesh and blood, the ones who eat food and turn it into poop. And all of us people that, all the wars and all the prisoners and all the victories, all the winners, all those people are part of us. Who was it
So,
that Not a Slave?
so
Again,
not
must be projecting. I'm assuming that's that Paul Punk, that
how
punk
cool.
Paul, the
Yeah.
dog of all media or the fraud of all media. I'm assuming that's probably him, or else one of his flying monkeys.
So the one that's like has to come to your show because I don't see you like going into someone else's show like on the regular like going at people. It's always
I used
someone
to.
seems to be coming at you. That's
No,
how I
I
see it.
mean, And Jack is admitting he does go over there. He went over there today.
Used to.
I don't think he went over
No,
there with
I
malice or
popped
anything
in
or
the
any anger.
chat.
Yeah,
I
right.
popped in the chat since I was being talked and since I was being gossiped about. Fucking
Yeah, it's
people were
crazy, right?
complaining about me. I popped in the chat and made myself known. I didn't
Yeah, set the
visit.
record straight, right? Might as well set
Well,
the record straight. Yeah,
Jay, this is amen. This is what I've been trying to do. Paul and many others have chosen to have this imagined version of me. Um,
right.
well, I'll use Paul as an example. He thinks I'm a man who deserves his disrespect and his opposition. I've been trying to have a calm discussion with Paul about his his fallacies, his lies, his false narratives. But Paul, instead of sharing truth and conversation, wants to offer arrogance and disrespect. And so it's hilarious to me, yet so not funny. And then there's people like this too, man. Whoops, where'd it go? Phoenix Jack Talcott, fraud of all life coaches, guru, non-guru, huh? Well, this is something I was thinking about. To the pure, all things are pure, but to them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Can you
Yeah,
see how that might relate to you?
yeah. That's
Yeah, it's
that.
pretty crazy, Jack. They want to say, "Oh, you don't have a message," right? And even I could say that at times. I could be like, "Well, because the thing is like you start off with the topic and then they derail your ass, right?" And so by the time we're done, I'm like, "What the heck's going on? I'm confused. I'm out of here. This sucks or whatever." But really, if you were just have that opportunity to give your message and then move on with the day, and they don't have to be here. Like that's the
Right.
thing. They don't like it, but they're here. Like what is their problem?
Yeah. It's like being a Howard Stern fan. Like, more of the people that hate him would be tuning into him back in the day. Like, which was crazy. Yet they hate him, but yet they still tune into him.
You're about to
Which
trigger everyone with the Howard Stern reference, but
yeah, I kind of
Jack, you do trigger people.
I know. It's fascinating. For a long time, I was confused by that. I didn't understand why or what was going on. It made no sense. But I've really grown, particularly over this last year, about not being affected by becoming less affected by people's ignorance and their triggers.
yeah, like how that comment was about you, Jack, being a fraud or guru, non-guru. I mean, you, Jack, has helped me like at least twice so far now. I mean, and that's not
Okay,
just
thank
me blowing smoke up his ass either. So that's like the legit part, really did help me. So right there's some evidence for all the naysayers or whatever, you know. And it's,
Jay.
you always start the show off like in the positive, but just people come in here and, start want to clown you about however you're doing what you're doing. Well, I don't see anyone else really having the balls to do that how you are. I mean, people, yeah, do have their channels now, but the message, what I'm trying to talk about. That's the thing.
Respect. Jay, thank you. I appreciate you standing up for that.
Yeah.
I want to point out all growth really goes to you. Now, I do hope to be a facilitator for people to learn and grow. Um, I trust that is actually all of our roles. Brothers and sisters, if you can, try to understand what I'm saying so that it might make sense to you. I'm just the same as everyone else, right? We're all on this life journey together. And the past of our separateness brought us to the development of who we are today. But as we join together today, who I am is very similar to you. We're all here to facilitate the growth of each other, right? To help each other better understand what we've learned, what maybe others are dealing with. We learn from each other, and then life actually happens easier than when you fight each other and try and oppress each other. It's just simple logic, guys.
Yeah, just like me, you, and Moose are on the panel now, and the energy is positive. So there's, say I fed off Jax and Moose fed off of Jax, or however, So say the next person that came up, they came up in the correct way, that's a bigger fucking positive energy that's there instead of that negative that's constantly trying to come in on it. We were all kept doing that, then eventually we'd be correcting out of this madness, this insane asylum that we're all locked into.
Well, this is the irony that I've learned. I'm confident in these conclusions I offer. Okay, I can explain why I say what I do, and here's the important conclusion to come to realize for yourself. Confusion inside your mind is a sign of insanity. I had this conversation with my mother earlier about how I deal with my own insanity and notice the symptoms. The symptoms show up. So how do you know if you're insane? If you're feeling anxious or angry or afraid, especially afraid. If you're feeling afraid and then you look around and there's like no danger there,
Right.
You're literally insane. So people have become normalized. They go through their entire day just totally detached from what's going on and reacting in illogical ways, making illogical choices. And I tell you what, from my observations only, I think this is what God does, is that when we're not honest and truthful, God allows us to do just stupid, insane
Oh
things.
man, speaking of honest and truthful, I got to be honest and truthful right now, this very second, because I'm getting text messages. I'm getting these messages, and they're asking why I'm hanging with loser failures and why I haven't told you that you suck, and uh, basically like, me,
Basically, to
I'm
play right
supposed to
in.
tell you just to get over yourself and stop broadcasting and whatnot. So that was me being honest with you. I got those text messages, so I yield.
Right. So they
Try.
basically want you to play into the whole negative, they want you to do the bad part of it all. They're trying to convince you. Because most what I've seen of you, like I've seen you go in on a Jack, and I've seen you both like the growth that happened with that too. Obviously you're on the panel talking to them because you always seem to be about the positive, and people start to clown you about that because those are the ones that are trying to like hold you down. Really, it seems to be. You genuinely, to me, what I know of you, but I don't even know you. So, but what I can tell you seems to be more about rather being the positive than the negative, and to keep insanity going. I think you take a lot of shit for being positive.
Hey,
Honestly,
hey, Jay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for
yeah, sure.
saying that. And Moose, thank you for sharing. I think Tribe said it pretty accurately. Wow.
He's always got his mouth open, Jack, doesn't he?
But You know, and I'm sure you're aware the position you're placing yourself in, you know, by being kind and
Right,
um
right.
I know. But Fire
Yeah, to
Drake
me, I
9,
don't.
praise God. That's really where, you know, thank you is honestly the best prayer I believe. It's the prayer I offer the most often is thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. And then here, tribe.
I told you he can't keep his mouth shut. It's always open, just waiting for something to go in.
Right.
Holy cows. Quantum Epic, I'm not sure which part of what saying is this.
Well, I mean, is this whole thing a bit like, have you not
Yeah,
been watching?
I don't know. Hey, I
Some
do love the positive. This positive
right.
really is, guys. It's our choice every day. Do we want to be positive about what God has brought our experience to see? Are we going to be angry or are we going to be grateful? Positive or negative? That's what we get to choose every day, every minute.
Yeah, why would I want to like just stay in a negative consciousness of, you know, insanity and just to stress myself on the daily basis? You know, I'd rather be positive about it and makes my life a lot easier, I noticed, because I was a freaking asshole most of my entire life. You know, I was a real asshole. Not until I was able to fucking eat my own fucking shit for a minute, you know, suck it up and fucking deal with this shit. Not
All
until
right, we got
then
to
was I
read this
able to see
comment
it.
down here. I'm going to read this one from Not a Slave. Positivity lets you ignore all the ways you're fake, weak, and purposeless. I think that's pretty harsh. I think everybody has a purpose here. Even the dark ones, like the ones that are evil in this world, they have a purpose because if you didn't know the dark, how would you know the light, right?
Yeah, right. You know, positive or
Yeah.
not, that perfectly capable of paying attention to, you know, the darkness that's creeping up and shit. Not just because you're positive doesn't make you not be able to see any or make you look weaker and shit. Because like for me,
Amen.
like I'll stand up for myself like on here or to the streets or whatever. I don't give a shit, man. To me, you know, it is what it is, and I'd rather stay in the positive. But you know, I tend to stay out of that old shit life that I used to be in. But I ain't saying I sure as shit won't throw the fuck down again if fucking feel threatened or any shit, you know, like towards my family and all that shit. Someone comes like that at me, then so be it. I got to do what I got to do to protect myself and my family, but I ain't gonna
Yeah.
get all bent out
Hey,
of shape, you know, over some
Jay.
words and shit. Moose could call me a cocksucker or whatever, you know. Really, I don't care, you know, because I'd be the bigger man and try to, you know, okay, Moose, why you say that? And actually sit there and engage a conversation, Moose, you know, which people don't tend to do. They don't do the whole engagement. They just clown
Well,
on you about trying to do
that is the pattern of the ego that's not mastered yet. You're right.
that. Yeah, and that
They
to me, that's showing that that's the weak. It
well
takes a
here
stronger man to do the opposite.
let me let me bounce on this comment too. Positivity lets you ignore all the ways you're fake, weak, and purposeless. I have seen there's some people on this path of life that they are in denial because that's what they want to believe is that they can only believe in what's positive. That is not anything that has been suggested from me. So your false narrative and projection is foolish. What I have continually offered is balance, bringing the shadow into understanding, into the light, into the knowing, so that you find the weaknesses within yourself. And rather than just be a negative jerk and complain about what's negative or weak, you fix it. You care to improve. So some of these people that are joining in this, I do like this one for ego. It's easing God out. It's taking the place of God. That's what our ego does. It's hilarious, but not
Yeah.
funny.
Right.
See, I think that's what God has done for us is we're living in this infinite realm of potentiality. And life should be taken seriously, right? It's something special. It should truly be cared for and appreciated, nurtured, grown, all life within us, around us. Well, I know there's going to be people. What about viruses? What about bacteria? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a balance of life. We as people, we can bring forth the light of awareness, the light of intelligence, the light of care, of compassion, the light of similarity, finding the similarities instead of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, why not just try the opposite? For like once in your life, if your life's going shitty on the regular, obviously change that direction, change that course. Just try it, even though it might not seem to be easy or whatever. What's it really gonna harm you to actually try it? And whoa, shit, what if it actually does work? It's simple like that to me is how I see it.
This is, hey Jay,
Yeah.
I apologize. I resonated with what you were saying, but I did allow my mind to drift there. The accusation I want to be a cult leader. When I'm actually, what we're talking about is maybe changing the way you see things, right? For a day,
Yeah.
rather than be a bitter Nancy and all, rather than be all negative, try to see what is good, because what is good makes you feel good. And here, something to truly consider. If you don't see the good, could it be that your heart is not pure? Could it be that your thoughts and your beliefs have clouded your understandings? Because the impurities that we have, what we contain, the sins that we have done or will or do, it's up to us to learn self-control, to overcome the unhealthy habits. And the unhealthy habits, brothers and sisters, they come from a negative outlook on life. It's a mental disease. I mean, it's a spiritual disease battled in the mind.
Jack, Jack, I don't know what happened. This is your show, right? And you never gave out my phone number, so I don't understand. The phone lines are open right now, and we've got Nubs on the phone line. He's saying how he's not worthless and he's not purposeless, and if Jack will give him another chance, he'll show him that he's not useless. And then we've got somebody else on the line, and they're telling me how I'm no longer allowed in the unslaved kingdom, how I've joined the beta boys, and how I can hang out with the bitch boys, and I can sit here and be a bitch for the rest of my life. And then we got another person on the line that says I'm a backbiting little hoe and that I should never go back to Paul's and I'll never have the respect of anybody. So I don't know who opened up the tip line, Jack, but I'm just being honest here and being clear that there's some shit going down and it's weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
I offer my apologies that you're dealing with that. And I recognize my part in what you're experiencing. My part just simply being you chose to be kind.
Hey, I feel like we're at that club, the He-Man Woman Haters Club or something, but it's the He-Man Jack Haters Club. You can't hang out with Jack, otherwise you're gonna contract Jackalis or something. It's like, what the fuck? Get
Yeah,
out of your imaginations, people.
for
Dude,
real. There ain't
people
no
are
beta shit with me. So people can say that as much as they want. That's them, and I sure as shit ain't gonna let that alter my fucking life any. I
Wait,
ain't getting
wait a
better.
second. Can you go back to that other comment? Uh, that other comment. That's Scott. Okay, so that's Scott who wants to lower himself down, right?
you think
Isn't that Scott trying to be Dominic?
no, I'm pretty sure that's not. I spoke with
Man,
Scott earlier today offline. Hopefully he doesn't
okay.
mind me saying that, but
You know,
Lou,
it's good. Sorry.
You
well,
might as well let the dirty wop up here. I mean, he's gonna barge his way through the back door somehow.
people are people are welcome to join. Um Preferably not with hate, but with care. And Lou doesn't have hate, but golly geez, he brings forth such confusion
He's
sometimes.
just not the brightest person in the room, and that's okay to say,
But
Jack.
but he is. He has an intelligence with him. I've seen his signs of intelligence.
Right, he's brilliant, but he's like an autistic kid. Like he can't like communicate effectively in the room. He can do what he does. He can skin a pig and he can make sausage and he can do all kinds of cool stuff, but he can't come into the room and effectively communicate with us.
Speaking of communication, I love how when these people expose their true self. I feel Tribe exposed his true self today. The angry, yelling, kind of how Paul gets when they're exposed. And the whole fake persona that Tribe presents, just as Paul, when they get triggered and they get in their fillers, they get like they both act the same. Tribe then came and said, "Oh, it was a bit." Everyone knows that was not a bit. Well, snafu got in your head because you were triggered in your cupcake fillings, Tribe. And that's what I wanted to point out, that these fake personas exist, but the true self always shows themselves. Thank you, Mr. Talcott and Mr. Producer Moose. It's good to see you two doing your thing. And Jay,
Respect and
I don't even know
acknowledge
you,
Snafu
so yeah.
Snaps.
Acknowledging respect to Producer Moose and Mr. Talcott of Talcottia. Thank you, Mr. Talcott.
Thanks, Snafu. Respect. Hey, here's for the lesson today. If lesson, the observation, the point of today. This is our life, right? It's once in a lifetime opportunity that lasts a lifetime, but we never know when it's going to end. We have no clue what might or might not happen in the future. So, what allowed me to regularly, I mean, like more consistently feel good, what allowed me to feel good more often in life was the acceptance and the belief that God is with me. Now, what does that mean? That's
Me and
Whoa!
snafu trigger people all the time.
I love you, Lou.
Is this real? Am I
I
really
love you,
here?
Lou.
Come on. I got it. Somebody pinch
Welcome,
me.
Papa Luigi.
Am I
I love
really
you,
on?
Lou.
Am I
Snafu, do you mind if
really?
I ask you something? Snafu. Snafu.
Jay,
Yeah.
Jay,
Hey man, I
Jay.
was just wondering something, dude. Like how do you deal with the constant like if you show up on a panel, I notice everyone gets all bent out of shape instantly. Like Like, is it always like that with you? Like, do they really get that bent out of shape on you? Or is that the
Yeah,
whole
hell
bit
yeah. 'Cause
there?
when you
No.
expose real life
Hold on,
criminals,
I'll tell
no,
you
when
how
you
he deals
expose
with
real
it.
life, hey, may I speak to Jay's question? I actually expose real life criminals, traitors, frauds, and pedophiles online. And yeah, I scream and do my little bit, non-bit. But the fact is all these fucktards act like they do something. They don't, except for a few of them. And there's some of these people who are culted up to the pogo mentality, which is a cult mentality. Instead of individualism, which Paul doesn't want people like Jack or others have. So yes, the privately owned, government-operated fucktards do come at me pretty hard.
Can
There's
I
your answer.
answer that question too?
Yeah.
Can I answer that
Seem to be
question
that way,
too?
Snafu. I mean, I give you
Hey,
props for what you
Jay,
do, man, and take that shit like that. So I'm just
Mr.
saying, man.
J, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Mr. J,
mouthpiece. What?
can I answer the question you asked Snafu as well?
Why
You
would
asked
you answer the question for me
you
when he
asked
with
him
Well,
me?
you
well,
asked him how does he
Snafu,
deal
let's
with
see
it?
where it
You
goes.
asked him.
Lou, he asked me how do I, not how does
Shut up,
Lou.
Snafu. For 1
How
second
does
in your damn life,
Snafu? But
shut up.
okay, well,
all
I
right.
guess
All
Lou
right,
back. Lou.
Jack,
So
it's
how do
almost
you
time to
deal with
take
it? Is
over.
that better?
He
Lou,
asked
how do
you.
you deal with it? How do you
see,
deal with
this
it,
is
Lou?
this,
Go.
this is
Oh,
what I'm
hold
talking
on,
about,
Jay.
Mr. J.
Jay,
The
I'll tell
culted
you how
ones
I.
really don't lie.
Oh, you guys are incredible. I'll tell you how I deal with it, but I want to tell you how Snafu deals with it. He doesn't. He just goes on the same line that he's always been. Insanity. He
So
never
it's just,
veers. He never
Hey
goes
Lou.
left. He never goes
Hey
right.
Lou.
He goes
Hey
right.
Lou.
Okay,
straight.
I see that. So he circles all the time, right? Lou, is that what you're saying, basically?
Lou is. I muted Lou.
He has no clue he's
He's
still
driving.
talking.
No, he's driving. He's
His
driving.
whole life is like smashing into a brick wall every day.
Okay, but that's what you choose to see, Lou. And this is
Yes.
where this is a life lesson that I've been trying to figure out how to best explain. But the idea that in every one of our opinions, there comes the responsibility of the one who's sharing it, Lou. So, like,
Okay.
you want to offer an opinion on snafu, a narrative that sure there could be facts to describe it, but you exaggerate it.
Okay, I'm
And
exaggerating. Can I answer him how I deal with it now? Because he asked me the
Yeah.
same question.
Yeah, Lou.
Isn't it funny that like these
I
guys
deal
are
with
so
it.
obsessed with
I
Snafu
deal with it. I deal
and
with
so
it.
obsessed with Jack Talcott? It's interesting how they're so obsessed with us, Mr. Talcott.
yeah,
I
let him
deal with it by being honest with myself, going into my inner space, looking whether there's anything that I really do need to look at. And if there is, I look at it and I do my best to change it.
Have you found anything?
Snafu doesn't do that.
Hey Lou,
Snafu goes headlong
Lou,
into a brick
How
wall
do you
on
know what
every
he does and
panel.
don't do,
What if
Lou?
that's
How do
Snafu's
you know
purpose,
what
though? What if
Snafu does and
Snafu just
doesn't do,
doing that
Lou?
makes somebody else think about the shit that Snafu says? What if that's his purpose? Just to do that. No veering to the left or to the right. But he actually
Ding, ding,
starts the
ding,
mind
ding,
of the
ding.
next
Mr.
person that
J's
jumps up
onto
on the
something
panel.
here. Mr. J seems like he's
You
onto
guys
something
gotta
here.
talk
Mr. J
one at
seems
a
like he
time.
sees optics. Mr.
One
J
at a
seems like he
time.
sees some optics.
One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead, Jay.
Do you notice
saying,
how every
what
time
the
Lou
hell
comes in,
is
just
this?
the whole stream goes to shit?
Yes, Lou has no care about what others are experiencing. He just wants to be a part of it, and he wants to be an important part of it. And there was something that was being discussed though that I wanted to get back to.
I don't think that's necessarily true, Mr. Talcott, because it's kind of like the Terex here. If you were to ask Lou Bass, does he respect you, or is he here to like defend Daddy? I guarantee you, Mr. Lou Bass is here to defend Daddy.
I know.
I'm not here to defend anybody. I'm here to just number one because it's funny as hell to me. Like this
Yeah.
is so funny.
Okay.
What Jack
Right.
is doing.
Yep. Lou thinks that what I am doing is funny because Lou is he's an ignorant pig who doesn't really know what's going on. He's got an opinion on a lot of things. And here, this is what I've noticed. We'll bring it back to Paul for just a moment since it's a beautiful example of human behavior, but it's a panel where people enable each other's anger. People feed off the anger. You can see it. Lou's one of those. And people want to see me get angry. They've got some sick pleasure. It's a disease of the spirit. It's in the mind. Hey, welcome, Chuck.
Hey, I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Beautifully.
Okay, I got crappy internet. Go ahead and finish saying what you were saying.
Actually, it was a perfect timing.
I'm doing some Karate Kid vibes with this background behind us in the sun, and feeling some Karate Kid vibes, Mr. Talcott.
And you know what? And Chuck is the Mr. Miyagi of the group, man. He is the oldest. He's the elder of the group, and it's good to see you, Chuck.
And I hope you're practicing the wash on, wash off skills, Chuck.
Yeah,
Never the crane.
being a loser failure, I don't have much to account for. Apparently, I had 14 years
Did you
in
say
the
you're having
military.
problem counting?
Oh, forgive me. I had 14 years in the military, then 27 years at a steel mill, but I don't know anything. I taught college electronics and electricity, but I don't know anything. But I do know that God is real.
Time out. You know that the god of media, Mr. Daddy, is culted. Got some culted ones. You do know that, right?
Well,
Chuck,
I'm sorry, he don't know shit.
Yeah. Hey, this is interesting. Again, these accusations, Chuck, I resonate with what you're saying. I see you, I respect you, and I can't believe some of the narratives that have been callously and carelessly thrown around about people like us. You're a good man from what I can tell. At least you've been a good man.
They hate us.
Well,
anybody who believes in God, they hate us.
That's what I'm finding. And in this
Well, remember, they can't even say the word Jesus. They got to say G-bus. They can't even say Jesus.
Many
You
do.
know what I started understanding was that all that like anger and hatred that I put out towards other people, it's what are we doing in the office? All right, sorry.
What?
All right, anyways, what I meant was all the anger and the hatred that I'd put out to other people, it's not a good reflection. Like I was pointing it out about how Drew Chalk Body Outlines and Toilet Bowl Earth and stuff, they say they're Christians, and Provo Kid says he's a Mormon and stuff. And they go around to these places and they explode on people and they start saying some of the most heinous stuff. And it's just if you're really that spiritual, do you really need to go over to somebody else's channel and just talk negatively to them? I mean, how pathetic is it really? Like, if you really think about this whole situation, especially like Josh down there, like I have respect for Josh, right? But then he comes over here, and I've done it too. I've come over here and I've said things like that too to piss people off. But it's really sad, right? If you think about it, it's really sad.
Thank you.
I know Josh and Jackie, and I've always liked them. I was very surprised how Josh has piped up about you over the last few months. He's usually the quiet one. And I've always wanted him to come up on panel and talk to you because I'm always interested in why Josh has always seemed to not be, receptive.
Well, people are welcome
just who you are, whether he agrees or not. Just
I'm curious about this comment, though. Who the fuck are you to make this claim? That if I live what I believe, I should have results based on something you imagined? I do have results spiritually, physically, emotionally, intellectually. I have results. So your standards of me are your problems. Everyone's are, just like Paul. Paul created his standards for himself and for others, and he wants to go and impose those as though he's some god. And Chuck's comment earlier, ego. What was it? Edging out God. People replace God in their lives and think they are the answer to everything. And then they imagine answers and blame and excuses. And guys, if this is real, I'm pretty sure we're here to confront and end the corruption that everyone has been complaining about.
Yeah, hey, I just want to add in there too. All these people, they're imagining problems where there is none. They're wasting time on these problems that they're making these problems. Like these problems don't actually exist. Like Josh not being here at your show would not be a problem for either one of you, because then he wouldn't be unhappy and being angry at you, and you wouldn't have to see his comment, right? And so you see, when you do what is right and what's true, you actually wouldn't put yourself in that position. And that's what I'm starting to learn as I'm listening from what's coming from within is you don't have to follow along with the people, and what they say about others. You don't have to do whatever somebody else says. If I want to be here, I want to go to anywhere. I'm my own man, and I really don't care what other people's opinions of me are, because their opinions don't really
Well,
negate all
you
the
and
facts.
Talcott will
You know,
never work in this town again, according to Paul, just like he has said to
Right,
me multiple
right.
times. We will never work in this
Yep.
town again. We'll never do anything. I love how most of these trolls, though, let me point out to you, Mr. Talcott and Mr. Moose, most of these fucktards in the chat aren't fucking content creators, aren't people who stand up for fucking tyranny or fucking criminal shit, aren't people who share their fucking thoughts to help the world, or whether I love how most of these people who are making the comments, as I say, are culted ones to what? The jealousy that I see coming from against Jack Talcott, myself, and many others who are fucking influencing the world through their own truth, yo. Bruce has done many things. Mitchell has done many things. I'm going to even go on the ballot and say people like Tribe and them have done things, but their ignorance to others is what the problem is. Whereas others can say, hey,
it's
I've
not
done
just
stupid
his
shit, and I've
ignorance,
done shit.
bro. It's the anger inside. You saw today, like that anger. That
Yes,
wasn't justified anger.
I
You
did.
didn't do anything to justify that.
Well, I did that on purpose because the fake presentation that they show is exactly what Tribe is and did. Same with Wizard, same with Paul. That's what they are and live, but they fucking don't show it on camera. They don't want to show you guys, but Tribe couldn't help himself today.
There's been a lot of emotions and I've seen a lot of individual growth in many different people. I've seen many people finding their ignorance comforting. Only one getting upset seems to be Jack. I don't see. If you want to believe I'm upset, believe as you wish. You're a fool, and your denial, your cognitive dissonance, your denial, it is a product of listening to over and over and over the negativity about the slaves and the worthless infidels and no one's to be trusted, and buying into the ignorance of that.
But I also want to point out the fact he says at the end of that statement something about how he thinks for himself or whatever. But if he thought for himself, he wouldn't be here in the first place. Because if he didn't like you, he wouldn't follow everybody here. Like,
Hey,
it's not anything against him. I'm just trying to point out the facts.
Moose, thank you. And actually, to kind of bring back with what Snafu was pointing out, I don't judge what others, whether they are creating content, whatever they're doing in their life. I try not to judge. It's not my place to judge. I trust that everyone in who's joining, even though they're just paying attention to their looping hate and their closed minds and finding disagreements and objections, even though they're wasting their time opposing what is true, the seeds of truth are being planted into their subconscious, and eventually the slaves, the ignorant, hateful people will become conscious.
Yep. I
Hey,
have
Jack.
to trigger everyone. Give me one sec, Chuck. I'm going to trigger
Okay.
everyone out there right now with this one. You know what I find really funny, Jack? Everybody tells you how you don't produce nothing, you don't bring nothing to the table. I have to point out that with Talcott Clip Collection, he has gotten gold, like absolute gold, man. He has gotten clips that should make his channel so viral. It's not your fault that these people don't know how to market their channels right. It's not your fault that they don't know how to run their own like business right. You gave them the gold and they didn't do anything with it. So, I mean, think
It's
about that.
not your
Think
fault,
about that.
Talcott. Respect and
Brother,
acknowledge
I
producer
love it.
Moose.
That sounded
You know,
so much like you've been learning. You've been learning from the master, Moose. You sound wonderful. Yeah, these
but
people, shame on them. They given this gold. Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
You know what though? I gotta
yeah.
be honest with you.
Hey,
You know the whole
hold up,
Talcott,
Snafu.
the whole Talcott eclipse is the cult mentality. Because when we were calling Paul out on that shit the other day, like making you a joke, okay, it was all fun and lighthearted. But then when he believes it, the shit,
Yes,
and then
that's
again, he wanted to, and that whole Talcott clip, I get it, funny as shit. Same with that funny as shit. But they want to deny that it was a cult mentality of, hey, let's fuck with Jack. Let's fuck, it was a cult mentality. Let's not forget that.
it's all coming to light. Thank you, Snafu. Chuck, please go
Okay.
ahead.
I follow the belief that I'm to be a maximum service to my God or creator and to others every day. A few days ago, it was 101 degrees. I was on my way to the store. I passed the neighbor that lives across the street. She's 95. I passed her as she's walking back to her house. I just happened to look in the rearview mirror and I seen her fall to the ground. I ran back to see if she was okay. Turned my car, went back to my car, turned around, went and got her, all the good, blah, 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 blah. Got a hold of her son. That's divine intervention. That I was able, because otherwise she would have died. She'd have laid out there and died in 101 degrees at 95 years old. That's God doing for us what we can't do for ourselves. And if I take that mentality, I realize a lot of people don't like me. I can't help that. I'm just trying to be real. They call me a hillbilly hick, even though I wasn't raised in Tennessee.
Look how they're reacting to Mr. Moose here. They cannot believe the producer Moose is standing up for Mr. Talcott today. Mr. Moose, producer.
No, I want to be clear. Guys, I want to be clear right now. I'm not standing up for Jack. I'm standing up for what's true and what's right.
You should be sitting down like daddy. You know how that works, Mr. Moose.
Well,
somebody claiming that I'm going against the scripture or bragging about what I did. I'm not bragging.
No, I didn't.
I did that out of love.
Well,
pure love.
And here, Chuck. So it's not coming from you. What I heard in the context of him, what he brought that situation up as, that was a testimony of his faith. That
Amen.
God brought forth an opportunity for him to be of service to a fellow person. So that wasn't bragging. He was giving the credit to God. I heard it clearly.
Yes, sir.
Holy. Does it, Jack, you talk about confusion all the time. Why are these people confused about Mr. Moose in your chat?
Well, actually,
everyone's confused about him. Look at the chat.
I see that. And Snafu,
Jack, let me answer for you so you don't make any errors here. I've oftentimes said that the people that watch these shows are some of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life.
Respected and acknowledged, producer Moose.
Well, hey, bless you. That makes what I wanted to say a little more challenging, but what I wanted to point out is Moose is not up here standing up for me. He's standing up for the truth as he sees it. And that I truly believe is what we all need to do, to stand on the truth as we see it, on the facts. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going against someone. You're just trying to get the truth to be known.
Yeah, and the truth is Jack has brought a lot to the table. He's added a lot of value to many broadcasts out there, and I think that he's gotten discouraged and beaten down. And I don't want to see him at the end of the day go off of his broadcast and not have a good feeling in his heart. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right or true, and that's where I'm standing. And if you don't like it, well, it sucks for you. It just means you're not standing with what's right and true, and I don't have to stand next to you.
Hey,
Respected and acknowledged, producer Moose.
Hey guys, I'm feeling content today. Actually, I got to go take a leak here pretty soon too. But should we wrap it up? What are your thoughts? The topic, though, life, God, and feelings.
Jack,
I think we've had a great conversation.
Your numbers are up, Jack. You have a lot of people listening to you today. And I do want you to know, every time you say, let's wrap it up, it always seems like you have a decent people who are catching on to attention. And you might want to go with the flow of your audience versus
I think
your time.
tonight you just go with the triggering because everybody's emotionally charged right now, Jack. I mean, it's up to you, though.
You know,
but they all are here with you. Just remember, they're all here with you right now.
You know, I see that. The chat has been interesting, and what I do know, though, is there is a reason for us all meeting, all finding reasons to join and share time together. There is a reason.
She called you Jack Daddy.
Hey, Jack Daddy. Tribe says that fucking us believing your beliefs makes it false. I don't know. Tribe, why don't you get up here, but just don't be triggered?
I like that.
Jack, you would talk to Tribe, Blockhead, wouldn't you?
I've attempted to, and I'm willing to, but he has triggered me quite a few times in the past. I just get so friggin' frustrated with his tribeness.
Diatribe.
Well, he tries to be really smart and it doesn't pan out. And then when he tries to diss on people like you and others, it's like, Tribe, do you not see that the energy, the vibe, like you are absolutely not even on point?
Hey, I'm sorry
Hey, Jack.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I want to bring up the word honorable. Okay. I married my wife 42, 43 years ago.
Wow.
And I made a promise to God, not to the state, but to God, to love and to cherish and all that good stuff. You know, and right now I'm having to take care of her because she's got Parkinson's. It's not her fault, not my fault. It's not my place to leave her. It's my place to be of maximum service to her. You know, and I'm not looking for no pity or no praise, you know, but that's what God directs me to do, to take care. Because when my father-in-law, mother-in-law got sick, I took care of them. Nobody else would. When my mother and father got sick, I took care of them because nobody else would. I didn't do it out of, oh, look at me, I'm the big guy. I did it because that's what God directed me to do, to help those that cannot help themselves. And I'm not looking for any pity or anything like that. Everything I do for a reason. And the reason is to be of the best person that I can be today.
Amen, brother. Hey, Chuck,
You go take a leak, Talcott. We
Yes,
can take
sir.
this
that's
over
what
for
I'm
a
going to
second.
do. And I'm going to
I'm
bring a
listening.
project up for you guys to work on together. Hopefully, I have the hope. I have the most hope and faith that there can be salvage. I love you, Lou.
I love you, Jack.
I love you, Lou.
I love you, Jack. I love you, Steffu. Can I get a
Hey, what's up?
cupcake? I
What's
love
up,
you,
Papa
Moose.
Luigi?
I love
Love
you,
you too.
Moose.
Hold on. We're all out of time, Snafu. Papa Luigi's here. Give him the
Can I
floor.
get a cupcake? I'm hungry. I'm always hungry.
Now you're producing, Lou. Now you're producing.
Why am I always hungry? Give me a cupcake. Somebody give me a cupcake. Fast! Give me a cupcake. Somebody, please. Who's got a cupcake?
Jesus. All right, so Lou, you
Tell
saw
me,
what
brother.
was going on here. You saw what was going on.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Jack's on his last ropes.
It's beautiful.
He's thinking either suicide or quitting the broadcast, and that's broadcast suicide, right?
I didn't see that.
That's not
I
called
didn't
for.
see
Moose.
that. I didn't see that part.
That's
Did Jack
not
say
called
that?
for.
Did Jack say that for real?
No,
That's
he didn't say it
bullshit.
at all.
Okay,
You're just totally
bullshit.
making that up.
because I don't
That's
want Jack to do
bullshit.
anything of the sort. I'm hoping
Moose
that
is
Jack.
producing here, Chuck.
I
You know
don't
what
give
I
a
want
Hearing
for
damn. That's
Jack?
everybody on all
bullshit.
sides here, Chuck.
Do you know what
A
I want for
man that
Jack?
believes in God is not going to commit suicide.
I
Good.
was saying
I'm sorry.
broadcast
That's
suicide, not
bullshit.
suicide.
Okay, don't get too excited, Chuck. Relax. You're
Well, I've
getting
had
old. You don't want.
friends. I've had
I
friends
know.
and family
I
do
know.
it.
We've all
I have
had
too.
friends. We've all had
and
friends.
it's
Don't worry.
not pretty, but
Just
Don't
don't raise
worry.
your blood
Jack
pressure.
has
There's
Moose's
nobody
tip
left
line.
to take care of you, Chuck. There's nobody left.
Chuck, Jack has
You
the
took
tip
care
line
of
for me.
everybody, and you're the last one. Who's going to take care of
hey,
you? Did you
this
get
is
your
the
blood
project
pressure up?
that Jack was talking about. If you guys are going to get all riled up and fired up, it's not going to work. This is a test to see if we
I
can
love
get
you
Okay.
along.
guys.
Okay.
I
I'll
love
back
all of
off.
you. I love you all.
Anyways, now that I can't go back to the enslaved
Spring.
nation,
Any?
I'm a
Why
full
can't
on
you go back to the
outcast now.
enslaver? You've been cut off for real, Moose?
I guess.
Oh, well, he
That's what
cut
they
you
tell
right
me.
off, blocked you.
Damn,
What did you
Daddy's
do,
been
Moose?
blocking and unblocking. Daddy's been favoriting all his sons and children more than others.
I guess I've backbit too many times. I mean, I didn't even do anything this time. I just came up and didn't go crazy.
It's all Lou's
Just out of
fault.
the blue. I can't believe that.
It's your fault, Lou. Why'd you let producer Moose
Oh,
get
Snafu.
shunned by Daddy?
Snafu, if you were here, you know what I'd do? I'd pet your head like a dog, and you know when you grab a dog and you grab his head and you pat him, and then you get his chest and you go, boom, you pat his chest to let him know he's a good dog. It's okay, he's a good doggy. Rest now, just sleep now. That's what I would do if you were here right now, Snafu. I'd pat you like a
You want
dog.
to pat my body?
Yes, I'd pat you down.
Want to pat me down?
Calm you down. Let you know there's nobody outside. You don't have to bark. It's okay.
Hold on.
By the way,
Please.
Mr. Talcott has arrived from bathroom break. All hail the great Talcott of Talcottia.
Hold on. Thank you.
Welcome back, Emperor Talcott.
Thank you, Lou. First things first. Your personality is already like almost intolerable, but your audio is real
My
scratchy now
personality.
too. Are you guys getting this audio?
Fuck, I'm in my area.
Oh yeah, it's a double
It's a bad
broadcast
area.
kryptonite.
Yeah.
I think Lou came with questions, though. Didn't you have questions, Lou, for Moose? That's what you're come here for?
I do. I have questions. I hope you can hear me. I'm in a section.
Oh, hit the
I'm in
echo
a place where I'm
cancellation.
almost home, where I have very little connection.
Jack,
Okay, I'll
hit
try
the
that.
echo cancellation on Lou's thing.
Okay. Thank you. It's already checked.
It'll clear up in a second because I'm almost home.
No, you have to. No, if it's checked, uncheck
Yes,
it.
Snafu, I have questions.
Oh, okay. Try there.
All right, try.
Is that better?
Lot
Test,
better.
test.
Slightly.
Test,
Yeah.
test.
Thank
1,
you.
2. Test. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ask
Thank
away,
you,
Lou, if
ask
Mr.
you
away.
turned off
What
your
the
camera,
fuck?
it would also fix the lag in your audio because it's co-open for the camera.
Okay. All right.
You're
All
not
right. There
that
we
pretty
go.
to
I'm
look
almost
at
going to be
anyway,
home, so I'll
so.
be closer. I'll be
Yeah,
closer to my internet. It'll be okay.
if you left the stream, we'd just continue on too.
I think he has real questions though. I think he has real because he's confused because of the
I
cult
know.
mentality.
I'm just playing. Lou, you're
Listen, I
intolerant.
wanted to really, now that Chuck is here, I really want to talk to Chuck with honesty. No fucking around. No bullshit. I want to make an attempt to talk to Chuck.
I'm listening.
Lou, he's listening.
Yeah, that was
He's
great.
there.
That was great. Lou, we're going to have to
Wow.
talk to you a little bit later when you get home on the Wi-Fi,
Hey,
brother.
this is progress
Is that
for
it?
Lou. This is progress.
Relaxed,
Lou,
more calm.
hey Lou, I'm going to remove you because your audio is it's at the point. Please, you're welcome. If when you settle, if we're still streaming, you're welcome to join.
Hey Jack, have you noticed that about your streams? The people come to talk to each other because you help facilitate that communication.
I actually hope that can be something I offer. Is
You've done it even with Paul and Paul Senior. You've done it multiple times.
I've
Now
offered.
your
You facilitate
audio is
communication.
Yeah, your audio is getting bad too. So hold on now, just for a few moments. We've got another guest. We'll give him welcome, Tommy. Loser
Welcome,
Failure
Tommy.
Patrol. Oh wait, that's not Illumatomy. It's Loser Failure
It's Daddy.
Patrol. Welcome, brother.
Is that Daddy?
Some might
Another
say.
great broadcast, all about me. I'm told, Jack.
Get out
There
of
was
here.
part.
No, I think there was just a little bit about there, but
Yeah.
mostly it was about other stuff.
Like what?
Life, God,
Like Moose
feeling.
producing.
Well, yeah, and Moose. Well, we've talked about a lot of things, but hey, admittedly, though, part of the conversation and the topic has been, what are the consequences for those who are foolish enough to share support to Jack? What might they face upon the return of Paul? That's a question I'm wondering myself.
It's not about support of Jack. That the inference is there that I'm not in support of Jack.
Well, the
What
evidence-
Jack, have you
happens
ever
is-
seen the movie Django?
Well, I was answering, but some high-voiced beta just yelled over me, and that's why he can't be on my broadcast ever on panel, because he can't control his mind and emotions and his mouth.
Yeah,
He has a history
just like
of
a
that.
good slave. He's gonna take
Yapping,
me out
pillow
back and whip
talking,
me.
acting out, being a child. He's got a history of that, right?
Today's a
Like
new
what
day.
Tribe did earlier today, right, Daddy?
No, Tribe just finally
like
had
you're
it
an
after
honorable
a year and a
man.
half of coming there to be part of something that you all can't mix in with and be part of because you've done nothing and know nothing.
Hey,
It,
you know
it
what?
looked
If you're
more
gonna
like he was
continue
having a bad
that
day.
loop, you're good. You can take your happy ass out of here. Are you going to continue that loop?
Excuse me?
your conclusion that everybody besides you is worthless. That's the road you were going down.
Did that trigger you emotionally? I thought we were talking about triggers earlier. Are you triggered emotionally?
No, I'm not. But
why are you reaching for the mouse?
Because I'm tired of
Am I still here?
negativity.
Okay, I'll just leave. Don't come back over to my area.
Okay. You already told me that. Stop fucking looping.
See,
Right?
so Jack,
Hey,
I
Jack,
just
am I
got
still
one
here?
thing to say. You're still here, Chuck.
Yeah.
I just got one thing to say about this,
Okay.
guys. Is there's a problem that's created where there was no problem. Like,
Amen. Yep.
I wasn't going looking for a fight. I wasn't talking bad about anyone. I was just saying what I saw was true. I came here not to stand just for Jack, but to stand for what I saw was right. And I think that is, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see why you get so mad.
Well,
It's
if he
in
could
his
talk
nature.
without getting triggered, I think Jack and him should continue to talk because you are putting a little sense into his mind. I think everyone is. He just doesn't want to accept it.
Hey, Jack.
I agree. Yes, Chuck.
You know, Paul was talking about being an honorable man. And a couple of weeks ago, I heard him on a broadcast talking about how he got kicked off the land because he wouldn't fulfill his duties on that land because he was spending so much time on YouTube. And that's how he ended up back at his girlfriend's. You know, if that's honorable, well,
Hey, tell
my
you what,
definition is different. And I'm not trying to pick on Paul, but
I know
by golly, let's try to lift each other up instead of
that
kick each other in the head.
that would
Most
be the
most
idea.
people, yeah, most people would rather kick somebody when they're down rather than lend a hand to help them up.
Isn't that Chuck, you're absolutely right. And
I'll
people
shut
think
up now.
about that. Think about that. How often people are kicked while they're down, they're looked down on, they're spat upon, they're dehumanized. People are so quick to judge and then to condemn one another, and it really, really is foolish. Um,
Is
Chuck, you brought up the word honorable. What is honorable, right? That is a good word to consider. What does it mean to show honor, to show reverence, to show humility towards? What does it mean to be true, to be one with, right? Honor requires the follow through and demonstration of words. Honor is the follow through of love, showing love through one another. That's what's honorable. What's honorable is being kind. What's honorable is being honest. Number one, honest. If you're living in a world where you believe everyone else is infidels and slaves and everyone but you is confused, Paul unslaved, you should check yourself.
Hey, Jack, can I get in here real quick? I only got a hot second, and then I'm jumping off.
Please welcome
what's up,
Goblin.
GK?
What's going on, y'all? I pointed this out a while back about how with the algorithms and this and that, right? Like a lot of us have shared subscribers, if you want to use that word, or just, minds that think similar or whatnot, right? I pointed this out, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because earlier with Snafu, you remember Snafu about how Paul was saying that Jack stuck having to deal with him because the shared subscribers and all that. I just wanted to reflect on that again, because that doesn't apply just to Jack and just to Paul. We do have shared subscribers because it's AI, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean that's just one of the tactics. I mean,
Yep.
it's jealousy, man. That's what it really is. It's jealousy. It's jealousy optics. He did it with OTW. He did it with Benton. He wants the keys to all these people who give him the keys so he can backstage and push his narrative. But he will use. It's just like I've seen it with other people other than Paul. Like when they'll push. But that's also tactics to push people up, because then they're thinking, oh, this guy got us. It's your 15 minutes of fame, so to speak. But are they really pushing up? Are they really working with you? Are they really creating and doing things, or is it just more of a bit or a clout, so to speak? So, no, I get what you're saying, Goblin. It's good that you pointed that out.
Yeah, I concur with that too. Y'all have a good one. I mean, I ain't shitting on nobody. I already know where I stand.
You're just pointing out the optics, bro. You're just pointing
Yep.
out the optics.
Hey, respect. There is a lot of shared subscribers. There's easily built an echo chamber, not only of people, but there is in this social media realm, it's very easy to get lost, to get misled, to get deceived. And then it's really easy to get caught up too. caught up in this reality drama, the reality TV that's now on YouTube, and it's, doesn't cost more than a subscription.
Jack, is Paul still backstage wanting to talk to you or no? Because okay.
No, he took off. This is the thing. He doesn't want to. He has not shown evidence he wants to talk. He wants to dominate. He wants to control. He wants to manipulate. He wants to gaslight. I don't want those things. So when he realizes he has the option of changing what he offers, and brothers and sisters, let's get off of the single image, and generally each of us, we all have the ability within ourselves to change what we want, to change what we want to offer. And really, we've got to find ownership on the fact that we are doing what we want. When we're engaged in a conflict, we want to be engaged in that. Why don't we just walk away? Why don't we find a resolve? I think resolve is always available, guys. Honestly, I think even with the, I don't know, I used to have a lot more faith in my abilities to communicate with people, but
Well, Jack, like I was saying, the yin and the yang, I think there are people out there that want resolve, and then people out there that will do everything to prevent resolve, because then if you have resolve, then the eternal conflict is gone.
That's Moose, that's actually very insightful. Some people have normalized. I was guilty of this myself. If there was not a conflict for me to be dealing with, things didn't feel normal. I didn't feel right. It took me a long time to get over my disease of anxiety and my lack of self-worth. I had I had no confidence. So guys, I am a transformation, honestly, if you just don't know the before.
Well, Mr. Moose might be onto it, Jack. You could always extend and do like the online thing, and then do like a private thing where the people 100% are into what you're doing, and that's you could always do. People do it all the time, But I say continue doing your thing, and I do. Do you find it interesting that some of these people are showing their actual self? Tribe was one of those today. And
Yeah,
Daddy,
I mean, it's an objective
Daddy's
fact that
favorite
he was
is his
acting like the
children.
biggest bitch I've ever seen today, and
Yeah, he's
to
pretty
say
good.
otherwise is it's kind of not right. I mean, we all
He was
witnessed it.
screaming, dude. He was screaming, "You're a pussy!"
He was quite triggered. Welcome back.
Bro,
Speaking of, welcome back, Paul.
Well, I just came back to kind of hang out and just make sure that we didn't do conflict, right?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Awesome. There you go. We can find some resolution tonight.
Amen.
And actually, Tribe, if you are willing, you are welcome to join. I'm sure.
Now, what happens when we get to the point where we're no longer doing conflict, which apparently no one here wants? Then what?
I'm sorry, what? Say that.
What happens when we get to the point where we stop the conflict, which obviously nobody here wants? Like Snafu's not a man of conflict. Chuck is definitely not a man of conflict. Moose is definitely not that. And you're definitely not that.
You, right? Neither are you, Paul,
No,
right?
I am that.
You of all people are definitely not a man of conflict.
That's the point. That's the narrative. I'm playing right into it. You're all not that. I am that, of course. What happens once we reconcile right now with our conflicts that are so great, obviously?
Peace.
We hug a buddy, fuck a buddy.
Then what?
We hug a buddy, fuck a buddy.
Then what?
Snafu, hold on. What
so you came online to get to internal peace?
Calm down. Calm
you
down.
are
We got to
full,
talk
huh?
to Tarek for a
Calm
second,
down.
Paul. We got to go to this chat.
Well, actually, the chat is just absurdity. It's one of Paul's current most public enablers casting accusations that I won't let Paul speak.
I like to call them the culted ones, Jack. Tarek has been showing very culted
And what are you guys doing today? Sucking Jack's balls and patting his ego?
No one's sucking anyone's balls, Paul.
They're sitting here letting you throw me in and out merely because you don't agree with me.
No, because we don't have
throw
to
you
defend
in
you.
and out. Hey,
I don't have control of what he does, Paul.
Guys. Paul,
Snafu was blocking everyone in chat when he calls everyone in China for doing it everywhere else.
The optics are high.
You're so filled with
The bullshit optics are high through the roof for a year.
Calm down. Calm down. Can you calm down?
What makes you think that I'm excited?
Because you insist on fucking
because I speak with inflection in my voice, not like a fucking android like you and the rest of these slaves.
No, can you look at your patterns of
because I speak with energy and inflection? God forbid, huh?
Nope. It's because you lack self-control. What I'm saying is right now, can you just chill the fuck out so we can have a conversation?
Chilling.
Thank you. I appreciate
chilling like a billion.
Hey, guys, please do not provoke. Fuck, oh dear.
Oh man, I thought they didn't want conflict, Jack. It's weird. You just noticed they're finally provoking.
We're back.
Just finally noticed that. Wow.
All I did was laugh. All right, there was nothing wrong with me laughing.
These are very loving, non-confrontational people here who want peace and resolution. Obviously. Obviously.
Do you want funny? Do you want to fight? What do you want? Where's your
I want you guys to be real for once in your life.
Wake up.
You didn't come online to get inner peace and resolution.
This moment right here and now, Paul. Is this real or is this not real? Okay. Are we in the here and now?
Hey, Jay, you're unmuted, Jay. Having a conversation.
Sorry.
Thank you. So, Paul, right before you got set off again, you were playing along that you were calming down and we were going to have a moment to converse. Now, you were doing it in a, obviously sarcastic way, Paul, and you got a chuckle, right? And then you want to fucking lash out at Moose for chuckling, for playing along. So, Paul, what is your fucking malfunction, dude? Are you capable of a conversation in the here and now or not?
Hey, Jack, can I ask one question just to kind of bring validity to the narrative you just gave?
If you got to take over, sure.
Who has more of a repeated track record of facilitating healthy and or productive conversations? Like put all four of you together and then take my track record. What would you think?
Well, Paul, what is the relevance, to the here and
proving
now?
You have no track record or reputation and you're full of shit, and then I'm on record 10 ways to Sunday being who and what I am and doing what I do?
No, Paul.
Yeah,
I mean, for relevance.
You scream it so loud that it doesn't matter anymore.
Hold on. I
got that, and you do nothing in your life.
Fuck, oh dear. I can certainly entertain your little egoic, narcissistic bullshit patterns, Paul. You want to claim that you've got all this success and having great conversations?
I would have to say I'd pick the four of us or whoever for because he's not better than anyone else. Everyone has something to bring to the table in their values and morals and beliefs and what they feel they want to share. And I think that's what he doesn't get. But I would let him talk to you, Jack. I mean, he is talking. He's not like going crazy like normal.
All right. Well,
that way Daddy doesn't say I never tried to help him.
So I don't want you guys, if you guys feel you can help keep peace, please interject. But if you don't, please don't add to the chaos.
Just kick back for a sec.
So, Paul?
Yes, Jack.
You were questioning, you're back to comparing, okay? For whatever reasons, I'm asking for simply, let's have a conversation.
Right.
Okay. So if you're so competent at having these successful conversations, why have you made it so impossible for the two of us?
Your lack of comprehension has made it so impossible.
So you're blaming me. What
That's
could
my
you do
perspective.
to
There's no
improve?
blame there.
What could you do to help improve the lack of understanding between us?
I'm not sure, because you have this pattern and behavior way before you came online with everyone in your life. So I think it's a continued pattern.
You know
I
that
think that
according to
that's what you've said. Those are your
so
words.
You believe me in some things.
It makes sense.
but
I
not
believe
in
you where it
others.
makes sense. I don't believe you where it doesn't make sense. See how that works?
Okay,
I'm
so
about
come
common
into the
fucking
present,
sense.
Come into the present. You'll see that
I'm
making
here. I'm
sense
here.
right now. Okay. When you stop fighting and finding reasons to fight, you'll find that I'm actually a very peaceful man.
Okay.
And I'm not this.
I think you're
worthless-
peaceful when you're alone or when you're surrounded
Well,
by people
hey,
who
Paul,
agree with you.
Hey, Paul, when are we going to address your words? When are we
Here,
gonna
right now,
address
whenever
yours?
you wish.
Okay.
I'm an open book.
So do you really believe you're better than everyone else?
Why is he yelling out? I'm here to speak to Jack at this time. I'm not here to speak to my haters on Jack's panel wherever they get a forum.
You know what? I'm going to, as people find disruption, I'm going to
That's that point. You can't say.
Actually, not.
I thought we're in the now. Why are you bringing up past broadcasts?
Because I asked you if there was permission to discuss your words.
So we can't discuss your words in the past because we're in the now, but we can pull up my past and discuss in the. Here we go. I can't believe you're even piping up and defending this. Show me one motherfucking thing Jack Talcott has done for himself, his friends, his family, his community, or people online to show that he loves and cares about someone or something and is willing to sacrifice and do something to secure that. Show it to me, because it hasn't happened. He's been exiled by all the people around him and been disconnected from the community because he's a hateful, bitter, angry, fake-ass motherfucker who love bombs. Don't you?
To be
Paul,
fair, I think that was
where
only
you
an
prove any of that
entertainment.
wrong, because I'd love to see you prove that wrong.
How many people from my past have you interviewed?
I don't know. We've done it together. 3 to 5.
We've done it together. Who have we interviewed?
3 to 5 people at least have come up on this broadcast, said they've had various interactions with you and think you're nuts.
That's the totality of what they've said about me.
Well,
I
you
assume
came
you're
on and your first
discussing-
interaction to me was you
Hey,
can't get
Paul?
anyone to listen to you, not even your own family.
Okay, so you stand behind those words you say.
The word that you said, yes, it makes sense to me now, a year and a half in, why you told me that at our
Paul?
first meeting. That
Hey,
makes sense.
Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking about the words you said that you just heard. I'll play them again for you.
Now look to the left and right of you and see who else is here advocating for your bullshit, and that'll tell you a lot about who you are.
Nope.
Could you point me to one? Could you point me to one thing? Here we go. I can't believe you're even piping up and defending this. Show me one motherfucking thing Jack Talcott has done for himself, his friends, his family, his community, or people online to show that he loves and cares something to secure that. Willing to sacrifice and do something.
I have to say, I've seen him sacrifice.
What about my military service?
That'd be me,
Military
Paul.
service is a sacrifice?
I know you
That'd be
have
me.
no respect for people who do serve others honorably, you piece of shit fucking jail boy punk.
So now going to the state of corporations.
The allegation is that I have sacrificed nothing in service of others. That was your claim, Paul Unslaved.
All right, I'm going to take us back into a better light, and I'm going to say that.
What makes me or anyone else? Why is he deflecting?
Hold on, buddy. I'm talking.
Okay, you're deflecting and bullshitting again. Go ahead, Moose.
No, so this is what it is.
Because now military service all of a sudden became something proud.
Hey, Paul, that would be me that Jack helped. Like Jack helped me from snapping out on my kid, basically, the path I was going. So Jack actually did help me.
Right. If you go into an asylum, the
Hold
patients
on, hold
oftentimes
on,
help
hold
each other.
on, hold on, hold on. Why do you feel the need to use others' pictures when you come online? You constantly do that. You try to use Jack's pictures to degrade Jack. There's no other reason. I mean, you're a fake, a fard, and a phony. My God, can't you see anything?
Jack
Okay.
didn't join the military because he wanted to go kill people. He wanted to go serve his country. Now, many people have done that same thing and they've been criticized for it. You know, when you go into the military,
Bring
if
him
you
back
don't
up,
know what
Jack.
you're getting, hold on, Chuck. If you don't know what you're getting into, you really don't know what you're getting into. When you get out of the
Well,
military, it doesn't mean you're a terrible person. You
That's
still
right.
serve your country and you still have a purpose, like, and he's collecting his $300 a month, and that doesn't harm anyone, especially someone who doesn't pay taxes. Someone who doesn't pay taxes shouldn't be mad about somebody collecting benefits that they're part of the system. So I yield.
well, here's the thank you. The other thing too is besides my, it was only 6.5 years service there, but I, through my choices, chose to serve my fellow workers and the labor force in my dedication for over a decade as a union leader. So
I
Paul,
was
you don't
too, Jack.
understand, huh?
I said I was in the union too. I was a floor shop steward, so I know what you're talking about.
See, it's a service to others. Paul doesn't understand teamwork. He doesn't understand service. He understands his rights, his freedom, his opinions. He
Well,
doesn't
bring
give
him
a
back up.
shit
Let him
about
spew
what
his
is true.
garbage.
Well, I'm really kind of at the limit with him. And
Well, let
here,
him let him
Chuck,
spew.
Chuck.
Okay,
Well, I
I'm
want to
sorry.
remind Chuck. I want to remind
I'll
you as
mute.
well.
I'll mute.
Well, I want to remind us all. Okay, for the pure in heart, we shall see God. We can see God working through all things. What I believe this is not as Paul believes. Paul believes it's his moment to be God here on media and, be so much better than Jack. But see, I see beyond Paul's hate, his insecurities, and his opinions. I see the good that could potentially be. If Paul will learn from a man like me, he'll learn humility, self-control. He'll stop being so verbally abusive towards others in this current modern day world. See, and
I
this
think
is
that
something to know.
he has a lot to offer. He has a great, he's a great orator, and I believe that he can command a crowd, and he's great for entertainment. But when you come up here and you talk over someone who has a good point constantly and try to like it's just so bad that he comes into the room and then tries to like destroy the room so everybody's looking at all the destruction around the room and nobody's focusing on what's actually going on in the room anymore. And
It's
it's
a
like, dude,
control issue.
He
it's
brags
weird.
about it. He brags about it as he does. I mean, it is an actual thing. He comes into these panels and maybe even in physical rooms and sucks the energy out of the room.
Yes, sir.
There's a demon of darkness that controls many people. I'm not saying that for sure. Or although earlier today, Paul did say I was a demon. The fucking accusations from this clown are ridiculous.
Hey,
So,
Jack, can I tell you
yes,
something? I really don't want to say this, but I will. I've seen demons. When I quit drinking, I seen demons. And I
I
don't know
believe.
how else to explain it. And it wasn't but by the grace of God that I'm still here.
Well, okay. What I'm talking about is the demonic, controlling, angry forces that seem to move many people. Now, here's something: there is so much power in these words, okay? To the pure, all things are pure, but to them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Do you hear Paul talking about the good and the purity, the wholeness, the completion of anything? No. It's all the fractures, all the problems, all the complaints. Paul, you are defiled and unbelieving.
Okay.
And you've publicly cast your dispersions onto me, and I have done nothing to harm you.
We're not going to
or
address the whole
anyone.
military thing, are we? Because you're
Or
just going to.
He's got his good
anyone.
mic on today. He's got it plugged in, and I can hear it.
Okay, we're not going to discuss the military thing, are we? We're just going to breeze right past all
God
that.
bless the military.
There we go. God bless the world wars of constancy.
Words, Paul. The topic was your insults, your characterization of me, not your fucking opinions on the military or the system.
No,
The topic was your words about me.
The point is, if we addressed any of these issues, it would become overwhelmingly clear how lacking in competence and comprehension you all are, but you won't do it.
All
tie
bullshit.
That back to the words. Tie that back to your accusations. Where's your responsibility? Where's your?
Would you like to move on, Jack? Because you're just going to throw me out any moment.
Don't throw him out, Jack.
Failure.
He's not pure in heart. He's angry and bitter and resentful and hateful.
Paul, I'm a reflection. Okay, I return in a.
Can you move forward in this moment?
I don't know. Can you?
Can you move forward in this moment?
Reason to keep you?
Can you love, Jack? The love of truth, the love of the uniting bond that we all face and have to deal with at this time. Hey, what?
You offer opposition to the truth of me. Give me one reason. Anyone. Is there any reason whatsoever I should have any faith that Paul will change?
I don't know, Jack.
Do you think anybody else would change?
Hey, what are you guys going to do during the next round of mandates? And what'd you do during the last round? Can we hear about that?
The same thing I did the last time.
Fake yawn. Great job, Jack. Fake yawn. Kick me out.
I'm going to go get some vegan pizza, and I'm going to sit on the couch and eat vegan pizza while the world collapses. Okay, Paul? Same as you. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to stream. Like, why do you got to come up here and disrespect Jack every single time? Like, you can't even have a regular conversation. Like, a regular conversation. You can't switch it up. You can't switch gears. It's only one gear all the time. It's the fastest gear. It's the hardest gear. And it's like, you don't understand that the world doesn't work like that. Not everybody can stay in sixth gear the whole time.
Not everyone wants to.
Jack, let's face the evil. Bring him up. Face it.
Chuck.
No, I'm tired of him.
Hey, are you guys going to do anything? I mean, he's unwilling.
Well,
he doesn't care. So Chuck,
he asked what I did. Okay, I'm sorry.
Chuck, I'm done with him. I'm done with this for today. Okay.
Okay.
Moose had it right earlier. I want to end on a better mood, better stream that, that this was worth our time. And so, Paul, while you're doing your little foolish childness, you can be banned the rest of the day. I don't fucking need you. You're worthless in my life.
Jack,
matter of fact, my life is better off without Paul in it.
Yeah, I got to make you laugh, dude. I mean, think about all the channels that he's done this to. All the channels he's sat in the backstage and he's screaming and he's talking to his guests, his crowd or whatever. He's done this to so many people, man. It's part of the entertainment that he does. And if you don't want to be part of it and you don't go back to his show ever again and you just cut it off, like he says he's going to cut you off, and then you guys just go your separate ways, because I think that's what he's doing today. I think he was coming up here and he was pushing so hard. Because I think he wants resolution, but it's that yin and the yang thing. He's pushing you so far away.
He doesn't want resolution. He wants victory. And he's a fucking fool. He is a fucking fool for choosing to engage with a man like me. He is such a waste of my time I thought for months that there was potential available to working with that asshat. He proves me wrong every chance he gets. So fuck Paul Enslaved.
Yeah,
And
I
as
got
far as
people.
returning, hey Chuck, as far as returning to his platform, I will come and go as I please. And
You
I
got
like
he,
that
that.
free choice. But I
yep.
do want to say there's people in chat saying I'm a cuck. Am I a cuck
Well,
for taking care of my wife? Am I a cuck for taking care of my son who has autism? What are
no,
they
man,
going
they're
to
just
do if
using
I
your name.
don't?
They're triggering you. Don't let them trigger
I
you, Chuck.
know.
That's the
They talk
thing.
about I smoke meth. You know, I gave up drinking in 2000, and my life has been nothing but spectacular. And I've been through 10 back surgeries. It took the 10th one to get me walking again. You don't think I'm grateful? I'm not grateful. I'm grateful to God. You lay in the bed for 10 years and think
Chuck,
what life is about. I had to
these
crawl to the
people are
bathroom,
miserable.
and I'm not looking for sympathy, but it was only through the grace of God. That's what I'm trying to say. The grace of God is powerful. If you do the next right thing will happen. You don't have to beat up people. We don't have to kick Jack in the head or kick Jack in the balls. I got my wife yelling at me because I'm screaming. But my God, we're supposed to love one another, not hate. That's what's the last 3 years has been nothing but hate.
It's
People
the great
trapped in their
falling away, Chuck.
houses. Yes,
It's a
sir.
great. You got to understand. It's the great falling away. These people don't want to love you. All they want to do is see you get upset, see you in pain, see you feeling, like them. They want to see you angry. They want to see you go out and be bitter and do all those things that they do to other people. And they want to encourage people like me who are very encourageable. So, why don't you go over to Jackson? Why don't you just cause a ruckus, or why don't you just be a dick, or it's people like that are pushing for more confusion, more chaos in the world. And you just, like, honestly, Chuck, if you let these people, just block them, dude. Why do you even let them talk to you anymore? Like, just block these
Well,
people. That's what I do. I block all of them.
I just get tired of the same loop over and over. If you look at Paul's channel over the last few months, it's the same 100, 120, 130 people over and over. And he cries because he can't get anybody new. Well, his message
Hey,
isn't positive.
tell you what, let's bring it off of that. Let's uh let's bring it back to something encouraging. Okay. Because today, the topic, life, God, and feelings. We saw feelings and opinions being shared, but unfortunately, Paul is still. God dang it! I brought it back to him. The topic. We talked a lot about a lot of things today, and I genuinely, Moose, Chuck, Snafu, Jay, even Paul, to lesser degree. Did anyone else stop by? I appreciate.
No,
Lou,
I don't.
Lou
Oh,
Bass.
Lou, but come on, you can't thank Lou for coming. He came to destroy, and
No,
then he didn't come back when he got home.
he did not. He said he wanted. He said he wanted to talk to Chuck, and it sounded, but he didn't
Yeah,
return.
his audio went to crap. I
Well,
didn't hear
No,
a
but
word he
I'm
said.
pointing out that he was almost at his house and he was going to come back. If he was actually a man of his word and not just creating chaos and being a dick, he would come back.
hey, the signs of his patterns are as an agent of chaos, particularly in my life. Lou has been an agent of chaos, but life happens. Let's not assume the worst. Maybe he got a wonderful phone call or a wonderful surprise, and better things happened. So,
Amen.
uh,
See, that's the positive side, Jack. That's what I'm talking about. Bringing that out. You find the positive in each person, and Paul. Like, there's positive in Paul too. He could be a proponent of change that brings so many people to stand for what's true and what's right. I just if we don't need to be hearing that message, or we need to be part of that message, or he doesn't want us to be part of it, then that's how we figure it out. Everything's not for everybody at every time.
Amen. And we're all on our own path. I think we can all, honestly and truly, I think we can all do a better job of helping each other.
Lou wants to come back.
Can I ask that we do this again another time? I'm feeling I'm not ready for more chaos. I'd rather.
How many people you got in your chat, Jack?
There are currently over 85.
Well, that's a good number. You ought to keep it rolling.
It is. I do appreciate it, but I want to be respectful though as well. And
well, the only person you have to respect is yourself, Jack. If you want to go, then I say you shut it down. If you want to keep it going to entertain other people, then you're doing something for other people and not yourself. So, Chuck, I'm not against you on this. I just want to make it clear.
Yeah, I was just pointing out he's got a good crowd. There's a good message going tonight.
Yeah, and respectfully, Jack, if you do close yours down, I might just open mine up, and so that would be kind of like me grifting. So I would rather just stay here and just be on this platform. It's triggering everybody tonight. It's funny. I mean, I'm not even doing anything evil or malicious or angry. I'm not like, all I'm doing is being myself, and it's
come on, Moose, be a cuck like me.
I've gone back and forth. The way I kind of view it too is I see, I think I end up with more views after the live than during, and maybe it's just people popping in and checking in, but I try to keep it I try to imagine it in a consumable bite is what I'm trying to think of. But there has been some good discussions today. There are some emotions being triggered today. These are all healthy things, right? I've unblocked Paul. I really
bring him up. Bring him up.
No, I'm not encouraging. I'm not inviting. He is welcome, but
well, maybe we can love him to death. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it's kind of what we need, but
it's hard
in this world with the material mindset. People look at love as the material things.
What's going on, Jack?
Welcome back, brother.
Yes, good to see you here, Jack.
Yet he still has the Tommy
picture. The military and government.
Hey, Chuck, this is a one-on-one, Jack and...
Okay, I'll bow out.
I don't know a character coming back to mock the military service.
Yes, service. Just keep saying service. That'll make it real in everybody's mind. You was all doing service. We really needed that service. There's other shit we just, we didn't really need. That service. What you all doing during COVID when I was getting put in jail over and over?
That's how you're a fucking baby.
All that service.
You're a fucking baby.
What was you doing when there was poisoning people and I was getting put in jail trying to stop it?
You're a fucking baby.
What? Can I get another $300 a month from the government for my service? Can I get 20% off at Denny's for my service?
Are you mindless? Can you explain your intention right here and now? What are you?
Yeah, my intention is to use comedy and satire to show truth. Is it working?
No.
No, you sure about that? Ask the audience. Do a poll.
Why? You can't discern what I said is
true by
yourself? Chuck, I put you in the back because
I know. I'm sorry, Jack. I lost my temper.
I know. Snafu.
Ungrateful couth. Who do you think?
Hey, I just want to say, Mr.
fought
Jack,
to
your
keep
numbers are
these
up, and
right?
people are interested in your stream tonight, and you are rocking it out. And this is nights like this show you that your message actually does count, and you should
All
think
right,
about that.
I'm gonna embarrass myself real fast, Talcott. Who do you think you are, Mr. Talcott? Oh, he's the new daddy in town, and he's ready to take your crew. Oh, Mr. Talcott.
Daddy
Please don't.
Talcott's nicer than Daddy Polly.
Please don't.
I just wanted to make you laugh. That was all, just to lighten it up.
I know. I
You know,
appreciate it.
all of this
I just
stuff
got one thing
happened
to say.
during
I'll shut
COVID.
up. The optics are
Everything
high.
happened. Everything happened when the bug was going on. When he made those videos, they weren't arresting people right and left. They were letting people go because they did not want to put them in jail because of the bug. So he can rely on that all he wants and
Hey,
think
Jack.
that he pulled the.
If you bring Paul back up, I wanted to ask him a serious question. Like you and me, I wanted to actually try and conversate with him in a different setting. Since you have the control, I don't know if he's capable of talking. I don't know if he's still. I'd like to ask him a question or two if you could help facilitate.
Hey, Snafu, I'll say the
Hey,
same
Chuck,
thing to
so
you.
tell us all my experience now that I didn't go to jail over and over being forced into a slave face covering and not complying while my military and police stood right there and did nothing and forced it for safety.
Daddy Paul, can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question? When you come on these panels, or
I'm not
when you talk,
addressing you, creature.
do you really have no respect for people and think that you?
Hold on, Snafu. Paul, the only reason you came back up was because Snafu requested you to try having a conversation with you. So you can either respect him as a man and a participant of the panel like you, or you can stay in, you can go.
See, there's your problem is you keep thinking Snafu is like me. There's your problem.
But Paul, I think Jack like
Could
you.
you point out how he's like
you.
me? How does he live like me? How does he do what I
Than
do?
every human being out there.
He perceives how I perceive. He's discerning. He's credible.
He sits in the same chair about the same many hours as you do every day. You know what I'm saying? Might be a smaller one.
I guess you make fun of Jack being in front of the fireplace all the time. What
Hey,
is the
Moose,
difference?
live it up. You'll be crying in 2 weeks like you always do again.
That Jack does, because I haven't seen any new videos.
Was that a threat? Because I did nothing against you.
Have your fun now over next to Talcott playing on his ego. You'll be crying again and shitting on him in 2 weeks like you always do.
Are you threatening? Or are you just gonna be
No, he just won't be over there. He'll be over here with you. That's simple.
Over there, you're gonna be so bitter.
You all seem to need to have to come back over there. I mean, I don't need you there.
Paul, you're a clown. Where are you? Where are you, dumbass? Oh dear.
Fuck.
Well, I guess you can't have a conversation. I just wanted to have a conversation with the man. You can't even do that.
You see how I get threatened over nothing? I didn't do anything.
You got him triggered. Producer Moose has many people triggered, and it's crazy because Producer Moose has been pretty much Producer Moose. Talcott's been Talcott. Snafu's been Snafu. Paul's been Paul. And none of us are like coming up with these weird stories. We're all on the same page, and it really comes down to respect and humbleness.
Paul lacks both of those. He doesn't share respect. He makes excuses for withholding respect, but it's because he's not a respectful person. But guess what? All those who want to be in the cult of enslavia and enable that narcissist, that fucking inflated ego of his, God bless. I love you all. I mean, let Paulie live his dream. Let hundreds think he's the god of all media, but I know he's really just the dog. He's the dog of all media, pretty much a fraud. Claims a lot, says he does a lot, sits on a couch, flapping his gums, no different than me. It's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
We
Well,
all
that's,
sit on our
I
ass and
can't
flap
lie
our
to you.
gums.
I kind of told some people today, I was like, really, Paul gives Jack a lot of shit, but Paul does the same thing as Jack minus the fireplace. Like, you don't see, okay, I'm sorry, but some of us creators do the panel, then we do our regular videos. Some of us actually do the street work or not. I mean, but we don't even judge each other. Like, none of us are attacking Jack because he's in front of a fireplace all the time. We may point it out and say, hey, do more, but Paul does the exact to a T of what Jack
Hey,
does. To a T.
Snafu. Snafu. I'll tell you the same thing I told Paul. Why are you using Paul's picture on your avatar? Use your
Because he's
own
my
picture.
daddy, Chuck. You got to learn this from Paul. You have not learned it yet. When you realize he's your daddy, you're going to fucking understand.
Hey, I buried my daddy. I buried my daddy in the military cemetery. I don't have no other daddy except
Although
for
Jack's
God.
a bit nicer daddy. You'll learn that. Jack's a nicer daddy. Daddy Jack got it.
I am kind and forgiving, but I'm also
Ruthless and aggressive and fucking merciless. Show him what's up, Jack.
I was gonna bring Paul back up to show him a little discipline.
Bring
since
him
he
up.
seems whack.
Bring him up.
How about we
Guys.
don't show them discipline and we show them love and we show them
Jack,
Yeah,
that's
hug a
what.
buddy, fuck a
Jeez.
person.
Hello. That's what Paul does.
cheers.
That's Paul's little trick is to
Chuck.
throw people in the basement
I know.
when he don't like
Chuck.
what they say.
Chuck,
Okay, I'm done. I'm muting.
Actually,
Chuck, we get it. He's in his feelers, Mr. Talcott. Mr. Paul has affected many in the kingdoms all over the net.
hey, what I wanted to say is I'm going to toss you guys in the back. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay? I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for joining. Anything final, Chuck or Snafu? Pertinent to life, God, and feelings, please. How do you feel about life and God today?
I feel that the wheat and tares are definitely happening. The optics are high, and it's okay to hug a buddy, fuck a buddy, but it's also okay to stand up in a truly righteous judgment, not judging Jack like what you said, but righteous judgment, wheat and tares. And I think people who do not humble themselves and have an understanding and think that they are better than others, and then those who follow that type of person, we all bleed the same. And the truth, is everyone has a truth, everyone. And it's ridiculous to point out who's better than who instead of just working together.
Amen, brother. Thank you, Snafu. Respect. Chuck, I want to thank you kindly. You've been a visible and public supporter of me, and that brings some it brings criticism your way. But thank you. Thank you for sharing the support that you have been.
Okay, my final words are, may God guide, or your creator, God, good orderly direction, whatever you choose. Let him lead you through this life, or let it lead you, or let the Spirit lead you to something positive. And always remember, try to be a maximum service to God and to others. And your life will get much better. And Jack, I'll let you go with that.
Respect. Thank you, brother. Brothers and sisters, to those who joined, there's power in truth, and the Bible, the book of that many people place on a pedestal and want to fit their life in. I don't know. The Bible contains a lot of truth, brothers and sisters. These are a couple that I found really helpful for myself when I really considered about what is pure. What is pure is that which is true, that which is whole, that which is complete. Now, truth, to be complete, to be whole, you got to bring in a lot of variables, a lot of different perspectives. But if I make the focus within myself, I don't know all things. I don't even know all the things that I know. Neither do you. What we know comes forth as we grow. As we're tested, as life brings us these occasions, that's where we find out who we are. That's where we find out what we know. And if you see nothing pure, if you see nothing good, all you find is corruption and flaws and negativity, well, perhaps it's the veil from which you are viewing God's creation, God's world, your life. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. This I know to be true for myself. Life, God, and feelings. I believe and I trust feelings are the way, it's our guidance system through life. It's to know how you're doing, particularly the guilt, the regret. Those things are important. You have a consciousness within you, a pure seer, one that sees what you think, what you say, what you do. There's one that sees how you feel, and it's all within you. And when we corrupt ourselves, when we allow ourselves to become corrupted with fears, with hate, with angst, worry, depression, when we allow ourselves to become corrupted within, with the darkness and the confusion, the negativity that seems to be so abundant in this world, when we allow ourselves to become corrupted within, it becomes more challenging to find the good, because you're going through a veil of knowing corruption, knowing evil. Paul, I swear, I hope you're listening. I know you're mocking me, but I also know for a fact, Paul Unslaved, if you actually listen to the words that I've been saying, you would not have the same opinion of me that you have. See, and this is where I'm sure many of us, in our different relationships, I'm sure if people actually calmed down and had conversations between each other, they could find the common good, the common ground, the common beingness, and the pure, wholesome nature of humanity that is available. So I won't continue on and on, but brothers and sisters, I do want to thank all of you who joined the panel, made it to the panel, click the link and didn't join, but thank you to all who joined in the chat and who may catch the stream at a later time. Today, understand your feelings, please. I'm encouraging you, and like me or not, find the value in this suggestion. Take the time in your day, please, for your safety and concern, for your well-being. Take the time within your day to go within and ask you, how do I feel about being me? What can I change? What can I improve? What is it time to let go of? What is it time to move past? What is it time to ask? Because, brothers and sisters, the state of this world is nuts. And the chaos of the world can easily, get into your spirit, your imagination, your emotions. And next thing you know, you're walking around spreading corruption and chaos without realizing it. We don't want to do that. We want to share the light of truth. And the truth is known through peaceful dialogue, intentional understanding, with pure mind, pure heart, pure intention to know. So if you see a corrupted world, look within yourself. Paul likes to say the words, you know, all criticism is self-criticism, and those words are very true, brothers and sisters, very true. I want to say thank you again, brothers and sisters. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless you. Thank you.